What's up? Y'all know who it is, man. It's the Dolphins D. We already in here. Ready to turn up this year. We gon' get it.
To Hard Rock Stadium.
We gon' defend. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. Let me hear you say, his squad. We gon' defend. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. Let me hear you say, his squad. We got the whole squad with me now. Train to go. Come play games if you want to. Try to crash eyes, you done took the wrong route. We gon' crash in you like a stunt dude. Check y'all like 1, 2. Tap your head like your uncle. You wanna ride, stay buckle. It get loud down here, get wild down here. Turn the field to a jungle. Never disrespect the squad, it's defended by a line. And some beasts on the feast on our position. Another line in the back, singing to the ER. Just in case you got through the first line, was tripping. But if for some reason it get crazy, I got watchers on the corner for my safety. Everybody here well coached. Change the weather under pressure, stay cool like an AC. Woo! But we still make heat. Woo! Was you trying to play me? We be 3 plus 8 deep, but I'm a fool so low. Can't nothing break me. Be great, only way to do great things. Hit hard, only way to make a statement. Come up in our territory, make a payment. Or be in debt with your neck. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. Let me hear you say, his squad. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. Let me hear you say, his squad.
I hit them boys. We throw them toys. Got saying that QB. We them boys. We the realest. We go gorillas. We out here, homie. You gon' feel us. Don't make me come down. In that box. Like I'm red. I'll knock your socks. Won't play y'all boys. Cause we some bullies. We'll take your cookies. Cause y'all some rookies. I'm in the building. Me and Shot Jones. We do lane. We don't play zone. We play that man. So guard your hands. I see your eyes. You're scared,
we
man.
We gon' defend. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. Let me hear you say, his squad. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. Let me hear you say, his squad. Yeah.
Too nice.
Yo.
Welcome
to Miami. Magic City.
Game time. Solo.
City you love to come visit.
Un cafecito en la mañana para levantar el ánimo.
Gracias.
Okay, vámonos, born in the Bronx, raised in Dade, been in the city since Pit had braids. Baja panty parties, but I know how to sneak me out. Now it's 7-figure meetings, every day we need a house. It's game time, the game's mine, you know the vibe. Yo viajaba el mundo entero, rapping 305. La comida, la mujer, la cultura. La vecina con su gallo, qué locura. En el verano y en invierno el verano. Dime qué ciudad lo tiene así bacano. Cocaine capital, so guess what, we been good. We known to flip things, do what we did to win wood. D-A-D-E. Welcome to Miami, the city that made me.
I got a pair of flip-flops and a tank top.
Only in there.
License got spinning, now I can't stop.
Only in there.
Sipping cafecito at them little cups.
Only in there.
In Miami, we get it live like the Super Bowl. In Miami, we get it live like the Super Bowl. That's pissed off cause I'm sitting in this traffic. Still got the speaker system blasting. Praying that I got enough gas. Cut the AC out so it's lasting. Man, it's just another day in dead. Hunting for the pay. Hungry now, I gotta get yo on the play. Gotta work tomorrow, but I stayed up late. I ain't taking nails, so I'm drawing up a play. Yo, see my homeboy say, yo, the city never sleeps. Tell me where you wanna go. We can take a down south, chillin' on the floor. Or go to Biscayne where they got a light show. Or hit the west side, chillin' with the Chico. Get a whole meal out the side of the road. Whoa. Hey, you see Lil Mama right there? Hey, I'm saying no. I got a pair of flip-flops and a tank top. Only in day. License got spinning, now I can't stop. Only in day. Sippin' cafecito and them little cups. Only in day. In my head, we get it loud like the Super Bowl. In my head, we get it loud like the Super Bowl. Let's go. Do a two-step to down the end of something. Drink in my cup, got me plenty gone. Had the block party, it was out the chain. Must have a check, got a Dolphins game. But I'm still vibing. 9-5 sliding. Car next to me, ain't got no business driving. Now I'm paranoid and it's getting real annoying. What make it even worse, I know that they ain't got insurance. I hope it don't crash. Get up on my lane. I'ma have to call 1-800, say I'm in pain. Get a check and I smile. Man, this shit wild. Till stay live, we don't never turn down. That's why we love it. Every day we on the grind, nigga, get out the bucket. Waiting on the chicken tender subs, selling puppies. Nah, for real though, man. You never had one of them? Yeah. Look, I got a pair of flip-flops and a tank top. Only in day. License got spinning, now I can't stop. Only in day. Sippin' cafecito and them little cups. Only in day. In my head, we get it loud like the Super Bowl. In my head, we get it loud like the Super Bowl.
Only in day.
Who that? So low, so low, so low, D.
Miami Sports Music, salute. What's up?
Hey guys, I'm Danny Johnson, CEO at TPP, The Positive Porpoise.
I'm Jason Miller from Fins Up SoCal Fan Club.
I'm Scott Howell from Atlanta Dolphin Club.
Mark Angelo, NorCal Dolphin Club.
And you're listening to Clock Blockers, Miami fans' #1 morning show.
Run it, 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 run it.
What's going on? Now we can do it. My mic was on mute. I haven't done that in a while. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Stephen D. on home of the #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Super excited to be hanging out with y'all today. I'm all set. I'm all set for today. I got my tea. I think my voice is ready to go. We're going to have a great show lined up for you today. I'm super excited about it. Hope you all have had a good morning so far. Have you all had a good morning so far? Put it in the chat. How'd you wake up this morning? Did you wake up feeling good, feeling great? Want to say good morning to my Fins family and my Fin-laws right here on Clock Blockers. We're flip-floppers, whatever one you want to call it. I'm fine with both. But I am super excited to be hanging out with you on this Throwback Thursday. Let's go. Want to remind you all, if you haven't done so already, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that button and subscribe. You guys haven't subscribed yet? You haven't hit that like button? What is going on? Hit the like button. Come on. Hit it. Tap it. I'm talking about you. You. The one who's on your phone right now in the bathroom, sitting on the toilet. Hit the like button. I'm talking about you, buddy. Yeah, you. Make sure you hit that like button. All right. Also, hey, if you want to sign up, become a member of the channel today. I would love for you to sign up and become a member of the channel today. Okay? So I'm going to put the link in I would love to get 2 new DWA for Life members. Can I get 2 new DWA for Life members? So that means currently if you're just a regular DWA and you want to upgrade, I want to get some DWA for Life people signed up today. Become part of the show. Become part of the family. You know what I was thinking? I always say that's my Vin Diesel, but it's also my Batman voice too. Family. Yeah, because I was watching Batman the other day. I was watching the Christian Bale Batmans. They're so good. But I am excited for the new Batman. That new Batman looks totally awesome, but it's supposed to be 4 hours long. 4 hours long for the new Batman movie. The one with Robert Pattinson, whatever his name is. Yeah, looks awesome. Okay. Sign up, become a member today. Upgrade your membership if you haven't already done so. I'd love to see you become part of this awesome, amazing family. Hey, if you want to donate to the channel and help the channel grow, there's a million different ways you guys can do that. I'd love to see you do it. You can use the $ down at the bottom of the chat, or you guys can use PayPal, which is MSM Podcast Network, or you can use Cash App, which is $MSM Podcast Network. Okay? All right? Whatever way you want to do it, make sure you do it. Want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Tail Greeter. Dude, we had a conversation with Tail Greeter this week. Let me tell you all what's coming up in 2022. Oh, wait, I can't. But just to let you all know, it's going to be awesome. Okay? It's going to be awesome. So make sure you guys do that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you guys check out Tail Greeter. Go download the app today. It's free to download the app. It doesn't cost you a thing to download the app. That's all I'm saying. Not a dime. Okay? Yeah. Hey, look. Let's see here. JD with the $2 donation. Good morning, fam. Jersey in here every time. Shout out to JD. Like it. Like it. Like it. Chase One, don't you dare talk about the Justice League Snyder Cut. How dare you? How dare you? Okay. All right. Hey, look. Y'all ready for the show today? Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready to hang out and partay? Because I got somebody backstage already that's going to hang out. I don't think she can stay long, but she's awesome. You know how awesome she is? She's like the coolest person ever. Okay, I'm just pumping her head up, so when she comes on here, she's blushing. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, all right, here we go. Without further ado, 305 Sports Babe is in the building. What's up?
Hey, happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
You know I'm out of commission during the week. I have a big girl job, but it's okay. My boss let me use our studio. So look, I'm official today. How about this?
You're so official. I like it.
It's not working, but I'm gonna just use it.
It looks like it's working. The setup looks good. That's all I'm gonna say. The setup looks good.
So what's going on?
I don't know. Look, it's football season's over, which I'm very sad about. But
but we have a little more left.
But the Miami Heat are killing it, and I know you're a big Heat fan.
Gosh, it is. Here's the thing, and I just tweeted about this. We haven't had our full squad for more than 15, 20 games. Yet we're in first in the East Conference. What is going on?
Shaq was trying to dog us on the set of TNT the other night with Dwayne Wade, and he's like, "Well, they haven't even had their full squad yet." And Dwayne Wade's like, "Yeah, they haven't had their full squad, and they're still in first place." Exactly. And he couldn't say anything after that because he had to think about it. He's like, well, I guess that's true because they haven't. And so, by the way, there's a lot of Knicks fans that are in the chat this morning because a lot of people from Jersey and New York. I just want to say, and I'm sure 305 Sports Babe will say the same thing. What happened last night, y'all? What happened?
Here's the thing with the Heat this year, right? We have the best bench in the league. Guys like Caleb Martin, Yerk Seven, Max Strus, these guys who you never would have thought anything of it. You think the Heat, you think Victor Oladipo, well, maybe not Victor Oladipo because he's been injured. Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, but these guys on the bench have stepped up so much that it's been amazing. It's sad to see Yerk Seven not getting playing time because he, pulled us through, those injuries that we had and hopefully Victor Oladipo comes before the end of the season. And Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, when he's hot, he's dropping 15 to 20 points with the threes alone. So it is such a fun Heat fan.
I don't need Victor Oladipo to come before the playoffs. You just chill, relax, get better before the playoffs. Because we're gonna make it, right? I don't care if it's the 1, 2, or 3 seed. Personally, just get in, get into the dance, and get healthy. And the reality is somebody like Victor Oladipo will feel like a trade acquisition at the trade deadline coming back because he hasn't played all year. And so that's going to be, is going to be great. Like last night, Jimmy Butler, 22 points. PJ Tucker, 20 points. Duncan Robinson, 25 points. And Tyler Harrow, 20. You had 4 players with 20-plus points. No, where did you go, 305 Sports? Okay, there you go.
No, it's so much fun. And, even with the Heat, we also have like the Panthers, have an amazing season. Basketball, it is really like a great time to be a Miami sports fan. And, despite our Dolphins we can talk about the Dolphins. You see these teams in the AFC, we're not even close to that competition level. Like we are so far from that. It's scary.
I know. I was so, Alex Dano comes on starts to come on Mondays now. We started this week, Dano and Daniels.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And Alex and I talk back, we talk all the time via text. And we have the conversation. We're like, there's no way the Dolphins are even remotely close to any of the teams in the AFC divisional round, let alone the teams that are playing this week and coming up in the championship game.
So far. I mean, everything from the offensive line to the quarterback to just the consistency of being able to throw the ball down the field. And there's just so much that it's like, dang, like we are so not there. So
100%. And just so y'all know, some breaking news obviously has happened with the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
The Broncos are going to be announcing their head coach today. Packers offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett will be their new head coach in Denver. So I told people, I was like, as soon as the first one comes in, they'll start dropping like flies. So I know that the Jaguars kind of recanted that Byron Leftwich was the head coach, but I still think he'll end up being the head coach there. But the Jaguars were supposed to bring Nathaniel Hackett in today for a second-round interview. Broncos last night made the decision, nah, man, we don't want you going to Jacksonville. We want you here. So I think I said 2 things. I said the Dolphins were going to be one of the last teams to get their coach. They weren't going to be one of the first. And I also think that when you see teams start to get the people that they want, that's what scares me about what's going to happen with Miami is we're going to be the ones, all right, who's left? Who's left?
Yeah, great.
And that's what scares me.
Yeah, you think, this whole thing with Harbaugh, and people ask me all the time, what do you think? Harbaugh straight up said he does, right? He did say that he doesn't want to come to Miami, right?
100%. He said, yeah, I mean, I want Harbaugh, just like, I want Harbaugh, I want or Caldwell or Doug Peterson. But the funny thing is the people that we would want, it doesn't even look like the Dolphins are looking at.
They're not.
And that's what scares me. And I know people are like, well, Mike McDaniel or Brian Daboll. The issue with them, and I've said this on the morning show multiple times, a lot of the regulars are probably sick of hearing me saying this, but the reality is they don't have any head coaching experience. And I think that's part of where Flores failed as a head coach because he couldn't create those relationships with people.
I had a nightmare the other day that Stephen Ross had a power moment and he wanted to become the head coach. And I had to wake myself up like, Ash.
Whoa. That's like a horrible nightmare. Don't ever have that nightmare again. Please.
I just thought.
Don't ever have that nightmare.
I have this. I have it under control. I'm going to be the coach.
Well, there'd be a positive side. There would be a positive and negative side.
Are you streaming out?
I'm still here.
Oh, there you are. Okay. You made me run the show.
No. There's still a positive and negative side to that, right? The positive side is we'd see a press conference once every 3 years, right?
Yeah.
So we wouldn't have to hear from them. But the negative side is we see a press conference for once every 3 years from them, so we'd have no clue what's going on with the ship and the team.
We'd also have AARP as a big sponsor. No, I shouldn't say that. I got to be respectful. I have to be.
No, you are very accurate. Very, very accurate.
So head coach search. It's the hot news right now, but there's a lot of teams looking. It doesn't have to be done immediately. It's
I wanted it done before. I guess next weekend is the
Pro Bowl.
No. Well, yeah, that too. But isn't it the East-West game or the college football All-Star game?
I think so.
In Mobile,
February 6th or something. Yeah.
So, I wanted us in place before that because I wanted the head coach to be able to work with the new coaching staff and say, well, what do you guys think we need to be looking at in Mobile? That doesn't look like it's going to happen. And that sucks, Again, it just doesn't look good for the Dolphins. It just looks like they don't have their stuff together.
It's There's
That's
so
what
many
scares me.
pieces that are just so far. And, every season I go into it thinking, okay, this is going to be our season. AFC East, let's deal with that first. And then it's like, we got to,
Same story, different year. That's what it is. Same
but
story,
no, but the
different year.
Heat are like my holding my heart together right now. It's like, so anybody wants to become a Heat
Panthers too. Panthers.
Panther, I haven't, that's the thing. When you live in Miami, it's so like a pain to get to the Panthers.
They're in Sunrise, right?
They're in, it was BB&T Arena, but now it's FLA Live. It's a beautiful arena. Like, it's great, but it's so like out there. So I'm definitely hoping to get to a game. I went last year. I had like center ice suite. It was
that's like it's like every time I'm in town, I'm like, all right, where are we going? Where are we going to hang out? And you're like, well, we're all the way on the other side of town.
I'm like, I live in Miami Beach. You're in Fort Lauderdale. It's like an hour on a good day, but I'll come see you. I'm getting there. But no, traffic here, it's crazy. But you deal with it.
What's the weather? What's the weather down there?
I said the same thing to you.
So Solo texted me the other day. He's like, guys, it's so cold. It's 50 degrees or 40 degrees. I'm like, I want to smack you right now. It's like 10 degrees here.
Well, here's the thing. I'm born and raised in Jersey, spent 18 years of my life, a little more because I went to college in New York City too, at St. John's. So I know cold. But the thing is, cold in Florida is a whole different level. About 2-3 days ago, it hit 52, about 49 degrees in Miami. And it's a different type of cold. It's the humidity, it's the dry air, makes it bone chilling. On Sunday, I'm running a pig roast. So it's like this big whole thing. Sunday morning, it's supposed to be like 32 degrees here, which is gonna like it's so bad. And the thing is, we have these, those iguanas, those monster dinosaur things that we have here.
Yeah.
So what happens is, they chill in the trees and they can't deal with the cold. So they literally, their hearts, something stops. I think it's their heart, and they fall off and they topple and they look like they're dead. But when it warms up, they come back to life. It's like, it's a whole different world here. But it's right now. It's like 75.
Did you just give me a Discovery Channel deal with animals? I like it.
Saying that it's a big thing that these iguanas, their bodies freeze over and then they just like almost like a mummy, and then they come back to life. But no, it's 75 degrees today. It's beautiful, but it's gonna drop down this weekend. But you got snow, right? Or snow's coming?
We got snow a couple of times, and yeah, I hate snow. It's the 4-letter S word in my house. It's the 4-letter S word. Like we don't. I hate snow. I hate snow with a passion.
Yeah.
And if I never saw snow again, I would not be upset at all. At all.
I said that too, and I do miss home. I still refer to Jersey as home, even though I've been out of there since 2008. But you take the good, the bad. When it's regular here in Florida, you sweat walking to your car to go to Publix. So you take that. I mean,
don't I know it? As a big man, don't I know it?
Because
it's funny, right? So like, I came down this year for one of the games, and it's like midnight. And I fly into Fort Lauderdale, and I'm in Fort Lauderdale, and I get off. I take Southwest, and Southwest has like $70, tickets. So I flew Southwest, and I come down, and I'm waiting outside of the terminal where you get your luggage at Fort Lauderdale, which a lot of people know, right? And I'm waiting there right next to like the Uber pickup. And all of a sudden, I look to the right of me. And by the way, as soon as you get off of the plane in Fort Lauderdale, like inside, the humidity hits you. Like it smacks you in the face, let alone when you're getting your bags and then walking outside, right? So it's midnight. I'm sweating at midnight. And right next to me, guess who's right next to me? Brandon Marshall is next to me. Yeah, Brandon Marshall's sitting right next to me. And I'm like this, right? And he's like, yeah, man, it's hot. I was like, bro, you live down here, man. Don't tell me that you say it's hot. And he started laughing, but Brandon Marshall was a cool guy. But yeah, at midnight, I was sweating up a storm next to Brandon Marshall outside of Fort Lauderdale.
Marshall, I have a question for you. Who was the most famous person you met that maybe you got the heebie-jeebies with, like butterflies? Have you ever got? So I'll tell you, I've met Dan Marino and I've met Dwayne Wade. I've met them, and I don't get nervous. I don't get starstruck. But this training camp season, I met Anthony Fasano, and Anthony
Anthony Fasano, or it's argued Fasano. I don't know who
We
you're
say
talking about.
Fasano, right? So we went to camp this summer, and they had the meet and greets with former players. So Joe Rose is there, and Joe made a very inappropriate comment to me, but whatever, that's Joe for you. So I go and meet Anthony, and I'm in line, and Lou goes, "Ash, you're getting really red," and I'm like, "No, it's just the sun. It's just the sun." So when I met Anthony, like, he was always like my favorite Dolphin. Born and raised where I'm from, this and that, great tight end. And I was so starstruck meeting him this summer, like beyond starstruck. And I got a nice picture with him, and I tweeted it and all this stuff. But for you, have you ever met like an athlete or anybody who you were like just starstruck? Like Dan did.
So my two favorite athletes growing up were Cal Ripken Jr. and Dan Marino. Like and I loved, my very first Major League Baseball games were Cal Ripken Jr.'s last four. My first 4 Major League Baseball games were his last 4. So those were great. But Marino was always the one for me that always, like, I've met like through Solo, I know so many people, athletes, rappers, all of that. So I'm in New Jersey for a Jets Dolphins game, and I'm with Solo and all of them, and Solo ended up doing something else, and I was like, I want to go to the hotel. I have this Dan Marino jersey. I want to try to get this autograph. This is like one of the very first years I started hanging out with Solo outside, like one of the first MetLife takeovers I ever did with him. And I'm sitting at the hotel, and I'm with Finn Sticky.
Yeah.
And who else am I with? I'm with somebody else. And then I'm at the bar, and Nat Moore and Dan Marino are on the other side of the bar, and they're drinking wine. Yeah. And they're having a couple of bottles, okay? So they're feeling good. And the whole time he's like 20 feet from me, and I'm like, all right. All I got to do is just get his autograph in my world. Because at this point, I had a poster of Marino on my wall up until high school. Like
we still have one on our wall.
Yeah, I mean, heck, when I lived in the house, not the apartment that I live in now, we had a man cave, and I still had the fat head of Marino. So,
oh my goodness,
Marino gets up to go walk to leave with Nat Moore.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm hyperventilating. I'm having a panic attack.
Gosh.
And Finn Sticky's with me, and he's like, "Bro, come on, bro." I'm like, "I can't help it. I don't know what's going on." So I'm standing there facing the bar like this, and Nat Moore walks behind me, and then Marino starts to walk behind me, and Finn Sticky sees that I'm not going to be able to say anything, like, because I'm freaking out at this point, right?
Yeah.
And so he goes, "Hey, Dan, could you sign my buddy's autograph and take a picture with him? He's a big fan." And Marino turned around. He said, "Sure." So I turn around. I'm going to tell you all the truth. I was crying.
No.
I was freaking out. I couldn't say anything.
You didn't cry?
I stuck my hand out. He signed everything for me, and I could not say 2 words to the man. Like, it was like, "Do you know who you are? You're freaking Dan Marino, man." Like, that's what in my mind I'm saying. And I get a picture with him, and he signs the jersey, which I have hanging up in the closet. And as soon as he leaves, I break down. I break down crying. And Finn Sticky thinks this is the funniest thing in the world.
Oh my heavens.
That I have a panic attack meeting Dan Marino.
Wow.
And yeah, but I met him a little bit later with Solo, and I didn't act that, like, I didn't feel, but the first time I met him, I've met him 3 or 4 times now. And the 3 or 4 times I'm with Solo knows Dan, or they know each other.
Yeah.
And so, he's just crazy guy, funny guy, nice guy, down to earth. I've always had a great interaction with Dan Marino.
Yeah, same here.
But that first time I freaked out. I freaked out.
Goodness.
I fangirled.
Yeah, it happens. When I meet our Dolphin fans from, like, especially the ones who aren't like local, I said, why the Dolphins? Whether it's our friends from Mexico, UK, California, I would say about 80%, maybe even more, say it's because of Dan Marino. Like, that's why they became a Dolphin fan. I'm going to actually probably do a story on it, like talking to our friends and stuff. But Dan did it for so many people. You have a few people.
The reason I was a fan. I grew up in North Carolina. There was no Jersey. The Panthers didn't come there till 96. And by that point, my dad and my mom, I was already a Dolphins fan at that point. Right.
Yeah.
And so, Actually, it was 94. I think the Panthers came. So I was never, and I was,
90s,
but
yeah.
yeah, but I was always I was already a Dan Marino fan at that point. And so, like, I mean, I want to say for like 3 Halloweens as a kid, like 6, 7, and 8, I wore this little starter Dan Marino helmet, which my kid still has the jersey and helmet to this day. Both of my kids have worn it as Halloween costumes as kids,
Aw, that's
which
sweet.
is the coolest thing in the world. But I mean, yeah, like I grew up like Marino is the reason that I grew up as a Dolphins fan. If it wasn't for
Yeah.
him, I don't know if I'd be doing the show today. And that's
Yeah.
the reality of it.
So many people have that same story, and we it's impressive because a lot of those teams, okay, yeah, you have a Joe Montana, you have these great quarterbacks that suck people in, but Dan really did it for this organization when it was crucial. And even so, like after, I don't remember Dan playing. I was too young. But
I mean, think about like number one, like in the 90s and early 2000s, NFL was starting to like take over the sports world, right?
yeah,
ESPN, I want to say, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, ESPN came around in the 80s. So they had their first 24-hour sports channel in the 80s,
yeah,
late 80s, early 90s. And so like Dan Marino was there right as the NFL was like rising up. This year I'm watching a game and I forget who it was, but they were talking about the team that had played the most Monday Night Football games, and the Dolphins were second. So during those Marino years, they were always on prime time.
yeah,
Marino, like they were always the national televised game. I live here in Baltimore. So from 84 or 86 when the Colts left to go to Indianapolis to 96 when they got the Ravens, there was no team. And a lot of fans here in the Baltimore area would say Dolphins games would always play as the national televised game because Marino was so big. So there are a lot of Dolphin fans in this area because the national televised game was always Dan Marino.
yeah.
So yeah, it's funny, and that's the problem. Like you go into today's team, there's nobody. Like I would love for Tua to have been that guy, right? Like I wanted Tua to be my kid's Dan Marino, but there is no Dan Marino of this era for us. And every time we get a player, Jarvis Landry, there's nothing. Like I would say the most famous Dolphin outside of post Marino era would be Ricky.
Ricky, yep. I was gonna say Ricky too.
And Ricky was so controversial because of everything that happened.
You know who's gonna be the next though? It's gonna be Waddle. Mark my words, it's gonna be Waddle. With his trademark, with his swag, with his game, it's gonna be. I want to say mark my words, but I don't want to say mark my words. But I think if one was to be in the line, it's not gonna be a Gesicki. It's not gonna be a Jalen Phillips. I think it's gonna be a Waddle. I think it might be a Waddle. Waddle might be our next Ricky Williams. So get his jersey now.
Yeah, look, I would say that when you're looking at it, I've tried. I try not to buy jerseys anymore because I feel like as soon as I buy them, a year or two later, they're gone.
I didn't buy one this year. I held off.
I mean, Waddle's the only person that legit looks like could stay with the team, even if there is going to be a rebuild in a couple of years. Again, if we're going to do this all over again.
Fair.
God forbid. Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
Agreed.
Knock on wood. Who do you want to be the head coach?
Don Shula. Bring him back from the dead.
Hey, I think a lot of people agree with you there. I don't think you're going to get any argument.
I mean, I like Peterson. Harbaugh would be good if he can get his act together. I like people who have a track record. I don't want to bring an offensive coordinator up and try him out as a head coach. I don't want to, I want somebody I would love Mario Cristobal. But obviously that's, I don't know. I mean, I want somebody with a track record. I don't want this to be another experiment. I'm tired of this being an experiment. I'm ready for stability. It's not like I'm talking about a relationship. I don't want this to be an experiment. I want stability. I want a good head coach.
I want a coach that's committed to a real relationship. Okay, that's what I want.
Somebody's gonna make us win together.
I want my what is it? My heart-shaped sandwiches with the crust cut off. Okay, that's what I want.
I mean, it's here's the thing. I keep bringing it back to Miami Heat because I'm so on a high with them right now. I want
you should be.
I want a Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra relationship with the Dolphins. Pat and Eric, we've had ups and downs, but they got it together. And it's not just them, like the chemistry of the team, everything is so in place with that team. And you look at, granted, it's a different sport, different organization, but you look at the Dolphins, they're just so night and day. You know, people don't respect Stephen Ross. People love Pat Riley. People withhold Coach Flo. People love Coach Spo. So I want that type of relationship
Well,
for
we
the
thought
Dolphins.
we thought we were gonna have real quick. Let me just say this real quick. Shout out to Roach Tales with the
What are they
$20
saying?
donation. Shout out for the $20 donation. But he said, born in 1986, I would have my mom mail out handmade birthday invites to Marino every year when I was little, and I'd wait for him all day. He never
Oh,
showed.
stop the
Who
cuteness.
knows if she actually sent them?
She did. Believe me,
Mm,
she did. Mama, she sure did.
that's a good one, though. I do like it. I think the Dolphins thought that they were going to have like a czar, like the Heat have and Bill Parcells 15
Yeah.
years ago. And that just never came through, and never came, 20 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it just never transpired to that. And I don't know. It's weird because I'm like, is there an equivalent to that in the NFL right now? Is there a Pat Riley in the NFL with the Eric Spoelstra? And the only people that I could come up with,
I would think of a New England.
but Belichick would be both people.
True.
So you
It's
can't,
not so much Kraft. Yeah.
yeah. Like Kraft steps back, lets Belichick does his thing, and like that's what it is. The closest thing I ever came to was Ozzie Newsome when he was the GM in Baltimore and John Harbaugh. Like they just had that relationship.
That connection, yeah.
Yep. And Steve Bisciotti, who's the owner of the Ravens, just sits back, lets, Ozzie, and I forget who the GM there is now, but he just lets them do their thing. And most years they're a competitive football team. And so that's the only thing that I could not think of all the other 30 plus teams in the NFL.
I guess if you bring it like that, I mean, maybe it's just a rare thing where, like, even in baseball, like, I hate to even bring this up because I hate the team, I'm going to go, but the Yankees, like George Steinbrenner and Joe Torre, I know I shouldn't even say it. I have like stomach pains like talking about them, but it's like rarely do you have that organization. I guess it is a rare thing.
Yeah, but Brian Cashman's been running that team now for what, 20 years?
I know.
Yeah. But before that, Steinbrenner had his hand in the pocket of the team and would replace the GM and the manager every few years. Yeah. So it wasn't until Cashman came along that Cashman, and honestly, I'll do you one even better. It wasn't until Steinbrenner died really because Cashman's been there. He's been there for the last 20 years.
Yeah,
right?
Brian's been there since I was a kid. So yeah.
Yeah. So what I will say is my hope is that Derek Jeter is the same thing for the Marlins here. And it looks like they're in the positive direction. It looks like that team's going.
I mean,
they
have a lot of people in the farms that they're trying to develop. I think
they brought up a lot of young pitching last year towards the end, and they looked good.
They did, yeah, no, they did, and there's a lot of talent currently. I personally like the first baseman, Jesus
Aguilar.
Jesus Luzardo is our pitcher. I like Aguilar.
Yeah, Aguilar is great. Yeah, and I like Chisholm is good too.
Chisholm, Miguel Rojas, like they're great. It's so fun to go to those games too. I mean, even though it's an up and down season.
If you guys missed my segment yesterday, that's you included, 305 Sports Babe. I had Xavier Scruggs on for 30 minutes, and we talked a lot about MLB Hall of Fame voting. We talked about the lockout. We talked about the future of marketing and baseball. Yeah. Make sure you guys check that out. I reposted just that segment on the YouTube channel, so make sure you guys go check that out because it's a lot of fun.
Well, I got to get out of here. I got to go back to work.
Yeah, I was about to say, promote 305 Sports Babe before you get out of here, and your social media, and yeah, get on out of here.
Definitely. Well, fun fact before I do that, my boss was actually the chaplain of the Miami Dolphins for like many years. So as soon as I tell him like, hey, I have to do something sports, he's like, go ahead, use the studio. So that's okay, but I do have meetings to go to. Definitely, guys, I'm 305 Sports Babe. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. My website, www.305sportsbabe.com. All information about coming down to Miami. It was big during the football season, but if you're coming down for a Heat game, Marlins game, all hotels, restaurants, things to do. So really, take advantage of our city. And my Twitter is all sports. Definitely big with Dolphins, Heat, And Red Sox, huge Red Sox fan here too. So Big Poppy, shout out to Big Poppy. I know all you haters are like, why did he make it? All you are like, well, why did Big Poppy make it? Let the man enjoy.
Let that man live. Tell him, let that man live.
He's the reason why I became a Red Sox fan. I literally my favorite baseball player. So follow me, 305sportsbabe.com, www.305sportsbabe.com, at Twitter, 305sportsbabe. And have a good day. And predictions for this week. Give me real quick. Chiefs?
No, it's going to be Rams, Chiefs Super Bowl. But I want it to be 49ers, Bengals Super Bowl because I'd love to see the rematch there for the third time.
I want Bengals. I'm one of my best friends in the world is a huge Bengals fan. It's fun following their journey. I don't think they have it to make it to the next level, but I want Bengals. So we'll see.
All right. Well, I love you. Tell Lou I love him.
Love you.
And I love you all. And I will talk to you. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Oh, anytime.
Tell your boss I said thank you too.
Oh yeah, definitely. We do a weekly podcast, Monday Morning Homilist. So it's first part's a sermon, second part's all Dolphin talk. So all right, bye guys.
See ya. 305 Sports Babe. She's absolutely awesome. Been a big part of Miami sports music and a friend of the program for a long time. She's been a big part of Solo D and supporting Solo D and all his stuff for a long time. All right. That was fun. That was a good little way to start off the morning, right? Well, now it's y'all's turn. Now it is time for the panel to get on. So I'm going to put in the link. Here is the link for y'all to come on. We can talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. We can talk baseball. We can talk football. We can talk about head coaches. We can talk Dolphins. We can talk about how awesome I am, how awesome 305 Sports Babe is. We can talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. But I hope y'all enjoyed that little. That was a nice morning coffee segment. I'm going to try to get her on like every Thursday or something like that, and we'll do morning coffee or morning tea. All right. I put the link in. Dolphin Don, just like Dolphin Don said, hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Only 25 likes. Only 35 likes. Come on. Hit the like button. It takes 2 seconds for you to just hit that like button. Doesn't take anything. Jolie says she's awesome. Yeah, she's pretty awesome. She's kind of a big deal. Let's see here. Predictions. Dolphins watching another team wishing our guys were playing. You've never said truer words, Dolphin Don. Do a ladies' night segment. I have talked about doing a ladies' night segment, and I might do that. That is in the works. Don't even worry about that, Crystalakis. It's already in the works. I can only like it once, Steven. I know. I'm sorry, Caddyshack. I'm just saying. Come on, let's get some more people in the back room here so I can bring on a whole bunch of people at the same time. Let's go. In the chat, you'll see the link. Crystalakis, get up here. Who else I got up in here? Who else is up here? Where I haven't seen Andrevius the last couple of days. Did y'all scare Andrevius off? Because it looks like y'all scared Andrevius off. You for sure said that. LOL. I did. Yes, we've already broke that Denver hired Nathaniel Hackett. I do think that will play a factor in the Aaron Rodgers situation moving forward because we all know that John Elway is known to picket veteran quarterbacks and try to win a Super Bowl after that. So we'll have to look at that. That'll be very, very interesting. Haven't seen Pete either, Shake Money says. Yep. Come on. I need 3 or 4 more people to get on to the chat. Let's go. In the link. You see it. All right. There we go. All right. Crypto. What's up, Crypto?
Hey, what's up, Stephen D? If Aaron Rodgers go follow his boy to Denver, that means there's more firepower. Once again, my whole theme for the Dolphins is firepower. That means, you know what? We're going to get as many weapons as we can to compete with these boys. If he ends up in the AFC, that means there's one more elite quarterback or great quarterback that's just moved into our conference. Then we got to expect greatness out of this team. We got to have an unbelievable type team, regardless of who quarterback we go with. Which now leads me to believe that if Deshaun Watson clears this thing, he's a Dolphin, guaranteed. There's no way they're going to allow Aaron Rodgers to come in this conference, and then we're going to not have the firepower we need. It's nothing against Tua, but I'm telling you this, Stephen D. if that man ends up in this conference, that's one more a great quarterback that we got to contend with.
We will definitely have to see about that. I think you bring up a good point and a good topic to discuss here on the panel here in a little bit. Let me bring on Green Rat. What's up, Green Rat?
Good morning, Steven.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. I was watching the other day that deal with you and TD and stuff about ranking the quarterbacks with their baseline and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
found that to be very, very interesting.
I think it's a theory that has legs to it. I think it's a theory
I do too. The only little thing that I kind of disagree or think it needs to be tweaked a little bit is to find a baseline of a quarterback, no matter what quarterback it is. You have to also factor in all your offensive line, weapons, all that stuff, because as much as a great defense or whatever can increase where the base of the quarterback kind of is, an offensive line can decrease it, or bad weapons or whatever. So I think that also has to be factored in a little bit. But I found it to be very interesting. And I agree. You got to be up so far to be able to win. So that's just my 2 cents in it.
No, I like it. I think you bring up good. We'll talk about that more on the panel here. Christolakis. Good morning, Christolakis.
Hey, good morning. How's everyone doing this morning?
How are you doing this morning, Christolakis?
Yeah, you had a great show at 3:05. I loved it.
Hey, man. She's awesome, right?
Yeah, she's great. She's absolutely great.
You know who else is awesome?
Me?
Jolie. Jolie's awesome. Shout out to Jolie. What's up, Jolie?
Hey guys, I'm good.
What's up, Jolie?
How you guys doing?
Jolie. I haven't seen you in a while.
I know work has been a little crazy, so I haven't been able to get on. But definitely, I still support. I still hit the like button, and I'm still listening to you guys. So I'm loving those Mortal Kombat days and the going after everybody and seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 reps. Calm down.
That's unacceptable.
Wonderful.
That's just unacceptable, people. Unacceptable. You know what isn't unacceptable? My man, Dolphin Don. What's up, Dolphin Don?
What is good, everybody, man?
Good morning to you.
What's it? Hey, man, that Crypto Dolphin, he's everywhere, man. That cat is
I know
everywhere.
he's on every platform.
I love your avatar picture.
Thank you. I love yours too. But yeah, I want to say something, man. I want to say something about the quarterback situation, man. Whether we get like a Deshaun Watson or whoever we get, I still say let's draft the backup, man. I mean, think of all like the Don Strocks, the Earl Morralls. I mean, those guys were not like first round picks, but we picked them and we just kind of sat them behind whoever was starting, and they developed into like reliable, folks we can go to, and they weren't like competing for the starting job all the time, like say Ryan Fitzpatrick or Jacoby Brissett kind of thing. That's my 2 cents.
Hey, I think you bring up a great point. Let me bring on a couple other people before we get really started on the panel this morning.
Okay.
The Knicks fan. What's up, Knicks fan?
Good morning, guys. How you guys doing this morning?
We're doing better than you this morning.
Good.
Hey, let me tell you something. The refs cost us the game yesterday. That's what it was.
What's good, Alex?
You guys got killed. You guys were down 30 at one point, bro. Don't give me the crap that the refs blew it.
Hey, I wonder how much Riley paid the refs.
Oh my goodness. Knicks fans can't even take an L. Y'all can't even take an L correctly.
Nah, I'm just kidding. No, you guys just destroyed us. I admit that. We're just gonna get nothing going on.
I'm telling you right now, Miami Heat's legit, man. They are legit.
No, I've always thought they were. I always thought they were. Me and my buddy, we text each other back and forth about it. And I even told him that, the Heat are probably, if not the best team in the Eastern Conference. Legit, they are good. They are really good. And all because of one man. I think Spoelstra has a lot to do with that. He's a very good coach.
I'm going to put you on mute and bring on the last couple of people. Russell Voris and 1, 2, 3, 4 F's. What's up, gentlemen?
Good morning. I heard my name, Steven.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Who said your name? Who said your name?
I think Jolie did.
It was me.
She wanted to see me, so I came up here to see one of my favorite women of the Dolphin community, including 305 and Pamela. And
definitely.
I came up here to say hi. I haven't seen Jolie in a long time, and I wanted to say, how are you doing, sweetie?
I'm good. Just thought work was crazy, so I haven't been able to come on, but still listening to you guys. You guys are always awesome and entertaining in the morning.
That's awesome, Joey.
Especially
I'm glad
when,
to hear it.
let's get
Steven,
into it. What's up?
Can you play that video that I sent you without any copyright infringement?
No.
On Twitter?
No.
Okay.
I can't. All right, Russell, real quick, say hello, Russell, and we'll get the panel going.
Morning, everybody. Fins up. How's everybody doing this morning?
Good
morning, Russell. We're good.
Good morning, Russ. Good morning.
All right, so I feel like the first thing we could talk about this morning is, the coaching staff, the coaches starting to. I really think over the next 48 to 72 hours, we're going to see 2 or 3 other coaching positions filled, if not 4. I find, I think Dayball finds a home, whether it's with us or somebody else. I think Flores finds a home, whether it's with the Bears or the Giants. But with Nathaniel Hackett taking the Broncos job, I feel like we could find, we haven't heard any announcement from our end about second round interviews, and that's what bothers me, because I wanted to have a team, a coach in place by the time the Mobile game hit in Alabama for college, and it just doesn't look like that's going to happen. What are y'all's thoughts?
Look, to me, I'm thinking the main 2 candidates that are going to happen is either DeBall, which he's tied to the Giants, but I honestly been preaching it for a couple of days. I think it's going to be Mike McDaniel after San Fran is either
I am hoping
knocked out or whatever. I think
it's going to be McDaniels or Brown.
I think it's going to be Mike McDaniel. That's my. I think they're waiting. I mean, I don't see what else Stephen Ross could be waiting.
Hold on,
for.
Crypto. Hold on, Epps. Crypto. You think Brown's going to get an opportunity to get this job?
Absolutely, because he's the only one nobody's not talking about.
The running backs coach of the Rams.
And plus, he's the assistant head coach.
He's
always
assistant coach
title.
Well, I mean, honestly, I can't say no because I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins did that. But
they always do something unexpected.
They keep it
that
all
would be
on
my
the
dark
down low.
horse.
That'd be a terrible hire. That would be like.
I wouldn't say it's a terrible hire.
It would be a terrible hire.
Because he's on McVay's staff.
They'd be like hiring a 75-year-old to work at McDonald's and think you're going to be able to work the lunch hour.
No, he's got the assistant coach title for a reason.
They're labeling him as the next Mike Tomlin.
Well, I mean,
exactly. A lot of people were saying the same thing about Mike Tomlin, that he was.
Here's the other thing too. If you guys remember when Zach Taylor took the head coaching job in Cincinnati, that was actually a big surprise. That was a big surprise in the NFL because Zach Taylor was in his first round of head coaching interviews for the first time of his career, and Cincinnati liked what they heard.
Good point, Stephen D.
I would think, and this is just based on what I think, I don't know if it's true. I would think that Cincinnati probably had in mind somebody else for their head coaching position. Zach Taylor came in, swept them off their feet, and you see what's happening. But I mean, I think Brown is somebody.
You can't sleep on these guys.
You can't sleep on them.
They just come out of the blue, especially when they're part of a coaching family in a tree.
Three-quarters of the fan base doesn't even know who that is.
You're right. You're right.
That's irrelevant. Three-quarters of the fan base didn't know Zach Taylor neither.
And let me also
only Dolphin fans knew who Zach Taylor was because he was the quarterback's coach here.
Coach of us. That was it.
I knew who Zach Taylor was, but another thing is, unless they don't get their,
Cincinnati didn't know.
Unless Stephen Ross doesn't get his first or second option, Brown would be like just settling. He would be like, we have nobody else.
Well, they're going to settle anyway because Daboll's trying to choose whether he's going to the Giants or not. He already had his second interview. He wanted to come to the Dolphins, and we offered him the job already. He would have already came to us. He would already signed. There's no reason to hold him out. It's Thursday already.
Dable is actually not a bad hire because
he probably already hired.
Here's the thing, Steven. I know you said before in the past that you don't like Dable, to be hired. But here's the thing: a lot of people tend to forget what he did to Matt Moore in 2011 when Chad Henne got hurt. When Matt Moore took over, he was actually a top 10 quarterback.
No,
gunslinger
gunslinger
the season. And also,
he's been that way when he's in
Tyrod
Detroit.
Taylor in 2017.
Yeah.
Taylor 2017.
Yeah,
those quarterbacks are who they were.
Best years.
No, that was the quarterbacks. The Matt Moore was very good when he was in Detroit, and Taylor was already a good, prototypical athletic dual quarterback.
You
Coming
mean
up.
Carolina, right? You mean Carolina? Matt
Yeah,
Moore
Carolina. Yeah, Carolina.
It was a blue team. What I'll say is this. My issue with Daboll is the success of his track record is very minute, is very small. And you can contribute other factors to the success of the team that he's been around. But most of the teams he's been on, their win-loss records have not been good. The 1 year he was in Alabama, that's a Saban team. So I'm not going to give him credit for that. The 3 years so far that he's been running the offense in Buffalo, or two or 3 years, whatever it is, I'm going to put that up to the moment Stephon Diggs went to Buffalo, Buffalo started being a better team.
And when they had what's that speedy receiver
Beasley
that
too.
Noah Igbenogany
John Brown.
got smoked.
John Brown.
Was it John Brown?
John Brown. They picked up Brown from the Rams.
Yeah.
So
they had him and Diggs.
The security blanket of Daboll for me is not good. But like I have said,
Steven, you notice his weaponry got better, right? Remember, my key theme of the day is firepower. He had more firepower.
But Crypto, but then you'd have to expect Greer or whoever, or to bring in people that can make this team. Like, there's too many factors in with that.
Right.
I feel as though if you bring in a head coach that's been a head coach before, you're not going to have to worry about some of the beginner mistakes that first-time head coaches do. You're not going to have to worry about certain respect factor within the locker room, because most former head coaches get a certain level of respect the moment they walk through the door.
And they know how to earn it.
Correct.
Well, there's a source. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Steven. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish up.
The last thing to it is, when you're looking at it from a perspective of McDaniel or Brown, there's two big question marks with McDaniel or Brown, and there's more than two. There's multiple question marks.
Yeah.
There's just the I don't know factor. Now we can go look at Zach Taylor.
The case with the first year head
You're
coach.
right, 100%. You can go look at Zach Taylor. You can look at Sean McVay. We kind of knew Kyle Shanahan from the very beginning was probably going to get an opportunity, A, because of his last name, and B, because of the early success he had wherever he was, right? He's always had really good track record. Yep. And then, I just think when you look at it from the standpoint, I think there's just, it's rare that first-time head coaches have great success. And so why would
why
would you play against the odds?
Yeah, Zach Taylor is a product of a young Joe Mixon.
If Daboll already said that he's going to bring Ken Dorsey with him. He's going to bring Ken Dorsey, and he said, and they also said
he actually said that, or you heard that on Twitter?
There was a source out there that he's already. There was a source saying that he was going to bring Ken Dorsey with him and somebody from Baltimore. It was somebody from Baltimore. Neil Driscoll actually broke that story.
Can I throw a blind ass?
Go ahead, Dolphin Don.
I want to throw a blind ass fan comment in here. Now, the next coach we get, I want him to have a personality. You talk about first year coaches like Mike Tomlin. He's got a. You think of Pittsburgh Steelers, you think of Mike Tomlin and exactly
Mike
the
McDaniel's
personality.
your guy, then, Dolphin.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Mike McDaniel's, and the first time I'd never heard of him until this year, and then all of a sudden I was thinking, can't forget.
Well, I feel like he's riding a high of Kyle Shanahan's success.
Think about this. Think about where we would be if Stephen Ross hired Mike Tomlin over Tony Sparano. Think about where we would be.
And by the way, guys,
we would have already probably won.
Well, we didn't have Big Ben either, so
not only that,
because they would have got the quarterback. They probably would have got somebody like
they would have gotten the quarterback
that years.
Not only that, guys.
No, we would have lost McDaniels after 3 years. Let's be real. Tomlin. Sorry.
Yeah. Let's look at this from the perspective of
I don't think so.
Where do the Dolphins go, right? And so I will say this, and Crypto brings up a good point. When you look at Brown and you look at McDaniel, where are those two coaching staffs? Brown is under McVay, McDaniel's under Shanahan. And if there's two exceptions to the rule of first-time head coaches being successful, where are those two exceptions? Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan.
Right.
So I
I
will say
Yeah.
that, look, and I'm talking myself into it as I'm saying it out loud, because I'm like, you know what, if we end up going with Brown and McDaniel, at least they're coming from programs that were
I have a
first-time head
question
coaches,
about
and they
this.
saw how it went.
The reason why I'm actually up in the air about Mike McDaniels is, can Mike McDaniels build a good coaching staff?
That's
The
what
same with
scares
Thomas
me.
Brown.
Adam
That's
Gase
what
came
scares
from
me.
a great program too, Steven. So I don't know how that's
No,
that
Well,
has
well,
validity.
the big difference between
Peyton
McDaniel
Manning.
and Gase is Gase had Peyton Manning.
Yes,
He definitely rode
and
the
Jay
coattails.
Cutler.
Yeah,
and
and
last time I
actually,
checked,
he
Aaron
gave
Rodgers
Jay
wasn't
Cutler-
chopped liver when Steve Philbin came here, so
Or
it
Joe
had a lot to
Philbin.
do with Joe
And by the
Philbin.
way, that's why I think
the
Nathaniel
quarterback did make quite the difference.
I am not upset that Denver picked Nathaniel Hackett because, there's way too many question marks around Nathaniel Hackett, right? Like,
did that
you
for
have
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers calls the
He's
plays.
going
Don't
over
tell
there.
me that you do.
Exactly.
If Aaron
He's
Rodgers
going over
doesn't
there.
like a play, he's checking it.
Exactly.
So,
Oh yeah, and
Steven,
that's
he
the audible,
credit-
Steven. That's the
He
audible.
credited Nathaniel Hackett with revitalizing his career.
He can say all he
credited
wants,
Nah,
but
he was
Nathaniel
doing
Hackett.
that so he can get the job.
Players
That was
say all
probably a
kind of
PR
stuff,
move
man.
so he can get the job in Denver. So who knows? That's probably what he was doing.
I'm not saying that they don't have a good friendship, but like I wouldn't bet on revitalizing my franchise on a guy whose quarterback's been calling plays for most of his career now anyway. And the same idea with Byron Leftwich. Like, I feel bad for Jacksonville fans, right? Jacksonville fans
That's an experiment, Stephen D. Don't feel bad for them because they could be.
I do.
1-15
I feel real
again,
bad for
1-16.
them.
Wasn't Byron?
Around.
Didn't Jacksonville draft Byron Leftwich?
Yeah, Byron Leftwich played for the Jaguars for years. So there's
Didn't they draft him?
yes, they did. So there's the nostalgia. There's the nostalgia of having your franchise favorite quarterback of your team come back and coach your team.
I don't know if he's their favorite. He sucked.
Are we? If you go back and look at the Jaguars, past, I would probably say Mark Brunell and then Byron Leftwich are probably the top two.
Which is not saying a lot, though.
What about David Garrard? David Garrard.
No,
none of those guys are
Leftwich over Garrard.
but you got to remember, Jacksonville's going to get their running back ETN, and they're going to have some key players back.
We don't even know
They
if
get the
he's-
first. They get the first overall pick once again. They're going to make us. They're going to make a meteor rise like Cincinnati. So that's another team we're going to have to probably contend with. But once again, we lost to Jacksonville. So in my mind, they're ahead of the Dolphins.
Hold on, Epps. Go ahead, Christolakis. Go ahead, Christolakis.
Is it true that we didn't conduct a second interview on anyone yet?
Yes.
That is
As
true.
far as I know.
Then what are the Dolphins doing?
Nothing.
So
that's why I'm leaning more towards they're going to surprise us with Brown.
I have a theory. I have two theories.
Or
I have two
the enemy.
theories. So my two theories are this. Okay, Christolakis. Theory A is that the head coach that they want is currently coaching right now in the championships, right? Which would be McDaniel or whoever.
Bieniemy.
Yep.
Bieniemy or
my
Brown.
My second theory. My second theory is
we're clueless. We're clueless.
My second theory is it's either going to be Dable or Harbaugh. And the reason that you haven't seen either one of those names yet pop up is those guys control their destiny. Meaning as Daboll and Harbaugh are going to choose where they want to go.
Right.
So
But I have a question.
Those are my
No, but Steven, no. Dayball's no, because if they're choosing where he's going.
I love what
that
Chris
means
Greer's doing. He's playing chess right now, and I love it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's playing chess.
Alexander, have you ever played chess? I'm very good at it. I don't think he's playing chess. I think he's more like rolling dice.
Real quick, I want to share this with you. I think this is really good. So Bleacher Report came up with potential trades before the draft, and this is one that they had: Christian McCaffrey to the Dolphins, where Miami would receive Christian McCaffrey, and we would trade the San Francisco first-round pick
Breaking
the
news: Big
Panthers.
Ben has officially retired.
There you go. Now Pittsburgh's need a quarterback, so that's going to be another elite quarterback going to the Steelers. This AFC is getting a lot of firepower now.
No, I know
I'm telling you, the word of the day. Word of the day is firepower. If we don't keep up, we're in trouble.
I do not want Christian McCaffrey whatsoever. He's
I would love Christian McCaffrey.
No,
and let me tell you,
I do not want
not.
Christian
He's
McCaffrey.
Guys, think about this for a second. I want you to think about this for a second.
Injury prone.
Bear with me. Listen to me
Yeah,
for a
you're right
second.
about that. Good point, Alexander.
Listen to me for 1 second. Hold on, guys. Listen.
Yeah.
I want you guys to think about the 31st, or 32nd pick. Who or what type of value would we get for that? And if I had a chance at the 30, 31, or 32nd pick to get Christian McCaffrey all freaking day,
I would take Kenneth
I
Walker.
wouldn't even think
This is my problem.
I would take
the only
injury.
only way we get Christian,
and that's the reason why he's going to come to the Dolphins is because he's injury prone. We always getting injury prone players.
And that's my issue. I'm tired of injury prone players.
Welcome Christian McCaffrey to the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to say it here today. I'm going to welcome him to the Miami
Go
Dolphins.
watch highlights on Kenneth Walker.
Go ahead,
Best
Christolakis.
tape you've seen.
Go ahead, Christolakis.
The only way we get Christian McCaffrey is if Deshaun Watson goes to Carolina, and that's when we send our picks to Houston in a three-way trade, and Deshaun Watson goes.
I disagree because there's no way Carolina lets go of McCaffrey if they get Watson. Why would they do that?
They were ready. I think they were ready to do it during the season. That was with one of the deals. I thought he wanted to send.
I did hear about that.
That Rook is
you
good.
brought up a
man.
good point there, Christolakis. I did hear about that. But I just want to know one thing, right?
Chuba.
Would you rather trade that
Chuba
first
Hubbard,
round pick
he's not
for an
good.
injury prone player, or would you
He's
rather
available.
trade that first round pick to try to get a guy like DK Metcalf, which
So-
could be
so-
on the market?
So it's a fair question, Alexander. Let me say this. I want the Dolphins to either go after a high-priced wide receiver like DK Metcalf, Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
I would love to see them go after one of those two guys. And
Adams.
I think there's another. No, I wouldn't give
But-
my first-round pick for Devontae, but I would
Why?
definitely
He's the
give it
best
for one of
receiver in
those.
the league.
I would give it for one of those two guys.
29.
I mean,
But
Devon-
this is the issue I
Go ahead.
have.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead, Jolie.
Okay.
I would
The
say we
issue
put
I have
Devontae
is
as
that
the first-round pick,
we're
but he has
so
much money.
notorious, especially when we have so much money, that we end up overpaying for people who are about to retire and they know it's going to be their last paycheck. So they come to Miami literally just to get paid.
Like
Or two, we
Harbaugh.
get somebody that could be good, but they're injury prone. We're already dealing with injury prone players. I mean,
Well,
she's not
DVP
wrong.
is phenomenal, but
Julie,
he
he's not
hasn't
wrong.
been on the
Actually
field
kinda
for
got away from that
16,
the last couple
16
years.
games in a season.
point,
He
So
got
Jolie.
away from that from a couple years.
We
Greer-
need
they-
people
Greer
with
got away from
impeccable
that
medical
for a
record.
couple years.
No, we need people that can hit and take a hit.
Greer doesn't do that.
Okay,
no
That
we
more.
don't
can
need
take a
soft
hit.
Greer has stayed
people.
away from
You need
that.
an impeccable medical record for me to put
and
team now.
that's the issue I have with getting
Jolie-
McCaffrey.
Yeah, we
Go
either
ahead.
overpaid
Jolie,
or they tend to be
Chris
great.
Greer has actually steered clear away from that the last couple of years, because if you remember 2 years ago when we had this much money, did we splurge free agency? Yes, we got guys like Byron Jones, Jordan Howard, Eric Flowers. You know, those guys barely hit. At the time, Jones was only 27, Flowers was 26, Howard was 25. So they're signing guys to long-term deals that are in their mid to early 20s, and that's exactly the way to go. That's exactly what you want to do in free agency. You don't want to give long-term deals like they used to in the past for guys like Josh Sitton. They gave like a 3-year deal to guys like Josh Sitton. They signed a Ndamukong Suh to like a 6-year at age 29, 28. You know, Greer has stayed away from that for the last couple of years, and this year I think he's going to splurge for younger guys, not older guys. If guys that could turn, like for example, Teron Armstead, 31 years old, they could sign him for like a 1 to 2 year deal and have him develop Liam Eichenberg, Austin Jackson, and all those guys. You know, that way they could take over the reins later down the line. You know,
I'm okay
so
with getting
that-
veterans. I want veterans. It's just I don't want people who have a history of getting injured.
No, I get
because
it.
we
Totally
get
yeah.
so many of those.
Also, piggybacking
That's
off
the
what
issue I
somebody
have.
said, I don't ever want to see Calvin Ridley in Miami. He basically screwed Atlanta. Okay, whether his mental illness was real or
he
not
told
real.
Atlanta what he was doing.
Yes, but he still has
I
years left on his
disagree.
contract.
The injury
Now he
concern.
wants to leave. He said he doesn't want to go back to Atlanta. They drafted him. He still has years on his contract.
But
so if he's coming back to football, why not go back to the team that you have a contract with?
Because there's some. I think there's a mental health thing there, which I'm not upset with. I think he went and seeked from what I know.
That's exactly why you don't want him in Miami.
That's
man.
wrong. I disagree. I think if he wants to come here, I think there needs to be, hey, are you going to see a therapist? Are you what are you doing? I think I should be allowed to get these questions out and say, what are your plans?
Well, mental health,
but you can't dismiss his play on the field.
No, I agree, Stephen. But mental health can change at any second. You see me one day, I'm yelling and cussing, telling people to get hit by a bus.
I mean, it's not just day. It could be minutes for you. It could be minutes for you.
I mean, Calvin really could change his mind in 1 second. You cannot have that kind of liability.
You can't treat people that way.
No,
this is not acceptable.
If you think about it, Calvin Ridley is a liability, man. If he does have mental health issues, he can flip a switch at any second, man.
I will say this.
Yeah, but Antonio Brown has mental health issues.
And what did he do? He threw his clothes off and walked off the field.
But Epps, listen. I'll say this. I'll say two things. Number one, Calvin Ridley would get to play with his college quarterback in Tua, and he'd be with Jalen Waddle. So there would be that cohesiveness of Alabama there. There'd be that blanket. But number two, if I had to say, hey, who's the person I really want? I want DK Metcalf over everybody.
Yeah. Obviously. And
put
Calvin,
DK Metcalf with Jalen Waddle.
No, I would take Calvin Ridley over all those guys if he did not have the issues that he has.
Steven,
I think
think
Calvin
about
Ridley's
this, right?
a top 3 receiver in the league.
I want you to think about this, right? You get DK Metcalf, you have Jalen Waddle, you have Lynn Bowden coming back, and then you go on and get Isaiah McKenzie. Now
Isaiah McKenzie's a product of Joshua Allen, man.
There's your 3 starters right there.
He's a waste, man. Isaiah McKenzie's a waste.
You guys don't want Godwin on your team?
Chris Godwin is excellent. I agree.
Yeah,
I like Chris.
I
like Chris Godwin. I wouldn't.
And ACL injuries are nothing these days, so I'm not even worried about his injury.
I wouldn't say ACL injuries are nothing, but
he might get tagged with
Deshaun Watson came back from 2
get
of them. Adrian Peterson came back from how many?
Well, Adrian Peterson came back in 8.5 months from an ACL tear, which is still, in my opinion, the greatest sporting feat ever.
Yeah,
I think the top 3. I think the top 3.
Adrian Peterson to me.
I think the top 3 wide receivers are Metcalf, Chris Godwin, and Ridley to the Dolphins.
And Devontae Adams is going to be out there too. And I'm not saying I don't want Devontae. I just.
Do you think he'll come somewhere?
I'd rather take younger guys.
Him and Rodgers are
I
both
think he's
going to the
Rodgers.
Broncos.
I think he's going to stay with Rodgers. That's why.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking
That's
too.
why Rodgers texted him like during the season and said, "Yo, bro, I love you so much," stuff like that, because he wants to make sure that he stays with Adams. And I think they're both going to go to Denver together.
I agree. Mm-hmm. And we're going to have another powerhouse.
So
the AFC is about to get real strong.
Why are you guys hating on Isaiah McKenzie for? Like, I don't
because he's a product of Josh Allen.
I like Isaiah McKenzie. By the way, I don't have a problem with him.
I do. He's a small, undersized guy that's a product of double coverage of Stephon Diggs.
Hey, Epps.
And Dawson Knox.
Ooh,
Epps, I got a question for you.
TD is in the chat.
Hey, Epps.
TD says if none of these guys will sign with Miami.
Can you hear me, Epps?
I don't think so, TD.
Go ahead.
No,
He's not lying. He is not
lying.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Epps, I was going to ask Epps a question. Hold on, let me ask Epps a question.
Real big problem then.
Hold on.
Let me ask Epps a question.
Let
me ask him a question because he had a good point. He was alluding to my word of the day. The AFC is about to get real deep and strong. It's because of my word of the day, right? Firepower. If we don't get firepower on this team, we're toast. That's my word of the day. It's firepower.
I agree.
I think TD brings up a good point. He says if you keep Tua, none of these guys will sign with Miami. Calvin Ridley still could, but neither here or there. I think that whoever the head coach is going to do what's best for the team. And my thought is if Brown or McDaniel comes into play and there's the opportunity to upgrade at the quarterback position, I think that those two coaches will say yes, especially somebody like Brown, who saw what they had with Jared Goff. And then when the team went to Matt Stafford, they automatically now are Super Bowl contenders, right? So, like, I mean, he's got us. If we got Brown, I would be more. If I'm a Dolphins fan and not a Tua fan, I'd be like, wow. Well, the team is definitely going after another quarterback because he saw what they did with Goff to Stafford. Would you guys agree with that?
I can't believe you're entertaining the idea of getting Brown as a head coach.
No, he's fine.
I'm not
Brown's
entertaining
fine.
it. I'm just saying it's legit.
Are you talking about upgrading quarterback as far as going from
upgrading quarterback. See, here's the first thing.
They went from a
here's the first
quarterback
thing a top
that went
wide
to Super
receiver
Bowl.
does when he leaves a place. He's like, okay, what kind of money can I get? And then he goes, who's going to be throwing to me? That is the two things that a top wide receiver is going to think of when he goes to a new team. So first he's going to say, okay, I can get a lot of money in Miami, but I have Tua Tagovailoa throwing to me. That's just it's not selling. It's not. So you're going to look somewhere else. And
Well,
say,
yes,
hey, maybe
but
I'll take $5 million less.
I think that's what TD was trying to
somebody
say.
else throwing to me.
But who else are we going to get at quarterback?
Because you get incentives as a wide receiver. So if you
Don't worry, we
got
got Jacoby Brissett. According to Pete, we got Jacoby Brissett. We got Jacoby Brissett to lean on, according to Pete.
Jacoby Brissett's I mean,
oh my God! Please don't ever mention Jacoby again.
All of these wide receivers are coming to the control.
Let's bring it back down to earth. We know that Rodgers is going to go to Denver, right? That's
we don't know that.
But there's a likelihood. There's a big likelihood that happens.
Let's put Deshaun Watson in the if jar for right now.
Yep.
Then you have Vikings quarterback. I forgot his name.
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
I could see Kirk Cousins going to Pittsburgh.
Yep, possibly. I could see that too.
Or
Russell
Carson Wentz.
Most likely going to the Giants. Who else do we have? Who else?
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. Hey, Carson Wentz would actually be an upgrade for us.
No.
too.
Do not bring that.
That would be an upgrade.
No, again, injuries.
I disagree. I would
injuries.
You take Tua over Carson Wentz.
No, his injuries is a concern. His quarterback.
No, I would take Carson Wentz over Tua, but
Carson Wentz was going to Hall.
No, I agree.
He was going to
MVP.
I wouldn't have right mind would take Carson Wentz over Tua.
What do you mean? Did you see Carson Wentz play this year?
Horrible.
If he's on the field, Carson Wentz is 10 times.
I'm sorry.
Hey guys, one at a time. One at a time.
Come on now, Tua is a good quarterback, but we can't be crapping all over other teams to prop him up.
Tua is an average quarterback. He's not good. He's nowhere near good.
Right. Well, okay, good. Average. Okay.
Okay, so Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is an above average quarterback when he's on the field.
When he's on the field, that's the other problem.
He lost to Jacksonville.
Now Tua can become good.
He already said that Big Ben just retired.
TD already broke that news, bro.
Yeah, Level 2 News said if you're a big-time free agent, why do you sign here? A quarterback with questions, learning another new playbook. Third head coach in 6 years, new coaching staff, new schemes.
Because we overpay him.
That's why we need a high character guy, man, like Mike McDaniels or somebody that's like, hey, I can believe in this cat.
Level 2 Noob, I don't think. Hold on, guys. I don't think that it's hard to recruit somebody to play in Miami. We've done it for years. Look how many years we've won the free agency game. We've won it a few times.
Sue, Mike Wallace, all the big names.
How can you
they didn't come here because we had a good quarterback. Because at those times we had crappy quarterbacks when they came here.
Yes, but general theme for all those people, we overpaid.
Overpaid, exactly.
And that's the issue I have. Because right now, everybody's looking at how much money can I get.
I hate to break your heart, but that's what's
the
going to end
nature
up
of
happening.
free agency.
We're going to have to be overpaying.
Here's
these
the only
guys.
enticing thing about Miami Dolphins.
Let's just get something straight. We have the money to overpay too. We have the money.
Here's
No.
That's not a reason to overpay.
Every team overpays. For
Exactly.
Just
because we have the money.
They overpaid for Kenny Galladay.
TD Watson is not a guarantee to Miami, bro. TD Watson is not a guarantee to Miami.
They overpaid for everybody. They overpaid
He's only a guarantee if he pays off the 22 lawsuits. That's
TD said Watson will be in Miami. Book it.
Because if he don't,
you know what? I totally agree. I want to say something. Hold on.
All these quarterbacks walking to the
I agree with
AFC.
TD
I want to shut that rumor down right now. You want to know why? You want to know why Watson will
Never
never be
mind.
in Miami?
Why is that?
Watson will not come to. Watson will not come to Miami because Flores is not here. That was the main reason why he
No, it wasn't.
No, that's
was
not.
not
It wasn't.
Flores.
Why do you
I
keep
thought he was a
that
San
lie?
Marino fan,
Why
Alex.
do you
Flores
keep?
is not
Like
here.
big
Why do you
fan.
keep
Flores.
pushing that? That's
Flores
a
don't have a
total
set
lie.
of boobs. He doesn't bring good weather. He doesn't have a power to tax code, and he doesn't have soft hands. Last time I checked, Flores don't have all of those traits.
Only
No,
way.
you didn't, Crypto.
Stop
Only
it.
way Watson
No,
comes
it's a
to
total
Miami.
rumor. He's
Only
right,
way,
Alex. That's a total rumor.
Oh,
It's
boy.
not true. You should
That's
not be pushing the fan
ridiculous.
base that, dude.
The
They
only
stop
way
with the
Watson
Flores
comes to
of
Miami
being the draw
is
for
if we
Watson,
hire
and Watson is
Bieniemy
after
as
You
the
think
head
Watson
coach.
gives a
women, good
damn
weather, and the
about
no tax code.
Flores?
If we
Flores
hire
doesn't have
Bieniemy
control
as
of
the
all
head
of those
coach,
three
Watson
factors.
comes to
You
Miami.
really think Watson's gonna come down here?
What do you think? Watson and Flores are married, dude?
Time out. Hold on. Crypto said because he
I
doesn't
didn't
have
say
soft
that.
hands. He said it because he don't have soft hands.
Exactly. I know. The
Exactly.
point is, I don't understand this whole thing.
Last time I checked, Flo doesn't have those traits.
Everybody thinks Flores
Come
and
on,
Watson
stop it
are
with
tied
the whole
like
thing
Devontae
about
Adams
Flo.
and Aaron Rodgers. They're not. Flores is not tied
Another
to
inaccurate
Watson
big old
like
take.
Aaron
Are you
Rodgers
kidding me, bro?
and Devontae Adams. It's just a rumor. It's false, and I don't like to hear it.
Plus, the guy who reported that came back and backtracked and said he doesn't.
I
They don't
know
even
it's
have each other's
false. It's
numbers.
so false. I just don't want to hear it because
Man, we are
he's
just
not
beating
tied to
that
Flores.
horse dead right now.
Crystal
Unbelievable.
Lock is
The whole Watson Flores stuff is.
Hold on.
Can I say something real quick?
And let's
All
Flores
in
somehow
on
magically
Watson.
grow a pair
Everybody,
of
not
boobs
just
and get
Flores,
soft hands. I would
everybody.
believe that.
Go ahead, Jolie. Go ahead, Jolie,
Real
then
quick,
Dolphin
one sec.
Don. Jolie, then Dolphin Don.
Really quickly, if Deshaun would come here, I think the only way that we could entice him is by hiring the head coach first, because that way we would have a vision of what he would want to go ahead and do. And with that, I feel like he would feel more comfortable being able to come here. Coming to Miami is a no-brainer. I mean, we have the money, like everybody said. We also have the city. I mean, it's South Florida. Hello. But that's not the issue. I think really he's waiting to see what head coach and what's gonna happen in order for him to make that final decision. But could he still come? Yeah, it's possible. Is it probable? Maybe like 30% at this point
No, I'm
because we
saying
don't have a head
90%
coach.
at this point.
I think 30%
I only say 30 because we
get a
don't
head coach, it
have
goes
a
to
head coach.
90%.
I'm telling you, if
Yes,
we get
but if we don't get the right hire, we won't get Deshaun Watson. That's what I'm saying. We have to have that right head coach.
If we get Bieniemy, we're gonna get Deshaun Watson.
But if we're gonna start again with a brand new rookie head coach, then we might as well have kept Flores, and that's the issue I have with Bieniemy or any of these coordinators.
Can I respond to that?
Jolie, but you may have an issue
hold
with
on.
them, but Deshaun Watson may not have an
Can I
issue with
respond
those
to Jolie,
coaches.
please?
Hold on, Eps. So Jolie, and I want to let Dolphin Don go after me. The reason why I think you're wrong, Jolie, is because at the end of the day, when you're looking at the standpoint of who's playing at the quarterback position or who the head coach is, you have to understand that Flores is not here because of what he could not do. He could not develop relationships within the coaching staff. He could not develop relationships within the veteran players. And by that, I mean, you have to learn how your ego as a coach and also understand that there are limitations that you have as a coach. And what makes a good coach is putting better people around you. And the one thing I will say about Flores is I don't think he put better coaches around him. That's just me personally. Okay. And so
that's facts. That's facts. It's true.
And so, you know,
That's
that's why
fact. Yep,
that's
great.
why Flores isn't here, Jolie. And so whether we replace him with a first-time head coach or a veteran head coach, you got to understand that it was going to happen no matter what.
Exactly.
Dolphin Don?
Yeah.
We got
to get rid of
make
the
sure.
Flores Watson
go ahead,
narrative.
Dolphin.
That is just terrible.
Go ahead.
That's terrible.
Go ahead, Dolphin Don.
Yeah, well, I was going to say Bieniemy. I think he's going to be New Orleans. That's my gut feeling right now, and so that's why I'm kind of on the Mike McDaniel's train. And yeah, that's the big knock on Flores was his inability to get a stable coaching staff around him. He had to even take over for Boyer for the defensive calls this year too. So that's a thing. As much as we all wanted him to succeed, he's got some more growing to do. So yeah, and as far as quarterback, man, I want Watson. He, from what I understand, he wanted to come here because he's a Dolphin fan, which is just a bonus to me. And everybody was on board. Not just Flores.
Deshaun Watson grew up as a Dolphins fan.
Yeah.
Marino
So
was his hero.
Yeah. So that
was his straw to play for his childhood favorite team.
Hey guys,
that was the only thing that was going.
I got somebody in the back room who wants to say hello. From Finn's Maniacs, Jason Sarney. What's up, Jason?
Hey, Steven. Good morning.
Jason.
How's everybody doing?
Good morning.
Good morning,
Pretty
sir.
good, man.
Good, how are
Good
you?
morning. We're
I'm
doing
on
well.
coffee
Thank you for
number
asking.
3, and I'm ready to roll.
Hey man, just have you been listening the last couple of minutes?
I jumped in literally about 45 seconds ago, so backtrack me a couple of minutes here where we're exactly at.
I mean, so basically, we're talking about the head coaching vacancy, where the Dolphins are going to go with it, and based on the head coach, who's going to come in to play quarterback. And so there's a mindset, right? There's a couple of different theories that we're talking about. Number one, McDaniel and Brown, the coaches from the Rams and the 49ers, they come in. What type of coaching staff are they going to be able to put together? Is a free agent going to want to come here and play for them? And then the other stuff that we're talking about too is what free agent would want to come to a team that has had 3 different head coaches in 6 years, can't seem to get it together, and has the two and can't even defend their quarterback that's here to begin with.
Okay. Well, the last thing I ever want to do.
That's quite grim, Stephen D.
I mean, that's true, though. That's true. Am I wrong?
I'll derail the train, but I'll get it right back on track, because the reason I wasn't listening from the get-go, sir, was because I was, listen, we all find out things in this game, Steven, and folks out there, and when I hear something, I have to choose if I want to take that and run with it, right? Mm-hmm. So my kind of preface of what I'm about to say, and anything that I say on Twitter, you all could take what I say and run with it if you want. So I don't run with everything, but what I get, I'm going to run with. What I got today was that I am told from the same source that told me that Thomas Brown was a candidate and interviewed, which he did, which was confirmed last night in an NFL Spaces by Tom Pelissero. Showtime from Dolphins Twitter asked the question to Peter Schrager, who shouted him out.
Shout out to Showtime.
Shout out to Showtime. But Pelissero said that the final interviews were concluded last week, and not only was Vance Joseph correctly cited as a candidate he interviewed, as well was Thomas Brown, but the same source today told me that at the very moment, right now, as we speak, Brian Daboll is in Miami pretty much looking at a finalized contract. The ball is in his court.
Wow.
And as I'm told, again,
you made me real sad, Jason.
You
made me real sad.
That is not a guarantee. I am not saying that the new coach of the Miami Dolphins is Brian Daboll. What I am saying is that it is looking like it is his decision at the moment.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You heard it here first, folks. On Miami Sports Music, Brian Daboll is the new head coach of the Miami Dolphins.
That's not what we said, Crystalakis.
No, see, this is, I love you, Crypto. You're one of my...
Crystalakis trying to jump the gun here.
Crystalakis said that, Jason.
Let me tell you. I have a very,
He's jumping the gun.
The thing is with words, if Twitter allowed me to have more than 160 characters, I would get into no arguments, because I'd be able to list every single thing that's on my mind. Micro content doesn't allow everyone to absorb every bit of the content at the given minute. So, Crypto, I would love to say on this show, but I can't. What I can say is that he has a decision to make, and the man might be getting stone crabs today. I don't know.
Hey, Jason, let me ask you a
question. He has a decision to make between us and the Giants.
Yes. I believe that is a decision.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Jason, let me ask you a question. If Daboll comes here, does he bring Ken Dorsey with him?
I can't answer that. That I cannot answer. I cannot speculate. I do not know if part of the contract negotiations is monetary. I don't know if it's real estate. I don't know if it's staffing. I don't know if it's how the facilities are. I have no idea. But do know.
I will say this. If Daboll comes here, number one, people know that I'm not a Daboll fan. But if he does, and he brings Ken Dorsey with him as the OC, I'm all for it.
Oh,
I'm all for it. All for it.
Listen, I can't. A couple of people asked me, when I tweeted this out like 20 minutes ago, Steven, not even. What do you think, offensive coordinator? Again, it's not definite, but I can't judge any hire, and I don't think anybody should until the staff is placed. So that could take time. But of course, you could have initial reactions and what it could do. This could be extremely good for Tua.
I was about to say Tua fans will be rejoicing if Dayball's the guy. I can tell you that.
It says a lot. It says a lot without saying it.
That'll buy Tua one more year.
That'll buy Tua one more. But y'all also have to I said this earlier, and I will state it again for the record. If Dayball ends up being the guy, Tua's going to stay here. We're going to miss out on Aaron Rodgers. We're going to miss out on Russell Wilson. And we're going to miss out on Deshaun Watson, which means that this time next year, when we've missed the playoffs again,
we're going to have the same conversation.
We are going to have the same conversation, y'all.
But how do you
drafting the quarterback?
Steven, the Dolphins are consistent
what really
at that.
bothers me. What really
way too much
me
to
is
overcome.
Why in the bloody blue heck do you guys think that Tua is not the quarterback to bring this team to the playoffs? I find that to be a
two things. Number one. Let me state something.
No one said he can't bring us to the playoffs. Once you get there, you got to.
Nobody ever said. Nobody. Hold on, Alexander. Let me answer.
Getting to the playoffs is nothing.
Hold on, Alexander. I
It's
want to
once you get there.
Because Crypto's right, and I'm saying exactly what Crypto's probably thinking. I have no problem.
You can win.
Two things. Let me answer your question, Alexander. Hold up. Number one.
Sorry, Stephen D. Sorry.
Dayball. Dayball means that Tua is probably going to stay. Odds are. I'm not saying that there's no reach that it won't, but odds are. But I will tell you right now, I'm not saying that we can't get to the playoffs. But as we have clearly seen this past playoffs, even if you make the wild card round, there is clearly an advantage of the higher ranked teams. They're just better teams. So we can make the playoffs.
No doubt about that.
But we're going to get blown out when we play a team like Kansas City. We're going to get blown out.
Yes, we will, bro.
Oh, man.
No,
We played the Buffalo Bills. What's the odds? What's the chances of beating the Bills?
Alexander, what games are you watching that we're
back
not?
to last
Because I really want to know.
Go back. Hold on. Let me answer that.
Nothing but
Go
love.
See what you started,
Yeah.
Jason.
Sorry, man.
No,
I
it's not
told you I
starting.
didn't mean to derail it, but let me listen again.
Six
The thing-
other teams that we're
the
going to
thing
be
about
playing
this-
against.
I'm sorry. I want to.
You forgot that they're going to be getting better.
If you go back to last season, Tua went toe to toe with Mahomes and nearly beat him.
But that's when Kansas City was
two
limp.
things.
It's different.
Hold on, Alexander. I'm going to put you on mute, buddy. I want you to listen to this, though. We're talking about playing Kansas City in a regular season game. When you face this team in the playoffs, totally different
Whole nother
team.
ball game.
Totally different team, whole other ball game. And let me tell you, Crypto also hit the nail on the head. If you don't think Buffalo is going to go out and get better this offseason, you got another thing coming.
They got
another
thing as much cap as we got to get even better.
Here's the thing: you're actually weakening your division by bringing Brian Dable on.
No, that's another lie.
Knows
No,
Josh Allen?
we
Who
didn't
knows
weaken
how
the
to stop Josh
Patriots when
Allen?
we got Flores.
Yeah, all he knows
How
about
did that
Josh
work
Allen
out?
is he's
When we
a
took
top
Flores from
quarterback.
the Patriots defense, how did that work out? How did that work out? How did they
Jason
get weak?
Sardi coming on my platform and dropping bombs.
Alexander, I hate to tell you, but you cannot weaken Josh Allen, man.
You getting them from another team doesn't weaken them.
No,
it doesn't.
I hate to tell you, Alexander, but you cannot weaken Josh Allen. He's an elite top three quarterback. Did you see how he played? And I don't understand your Tua narrative because I don't understand what you're watching, man. Did you watch Patty Mahomes and Josh Allen, or did you just catch the highlights?
I did, but
did you watch them? Tua could do nothing even remotely close to what either one of those guys did.
Epps, let me put you on. I want to agree with that.
He nearly beat Mahomes.
Hold on, Alexander. Alexander, I want you
look
to
at
answer
that.
this. Hold on. Answer this, Alexander. Answer this. And then I'm going to let Crypto go. Because Epps is right. Alexander, what gives you any hope? I need you to put some facts behind this. Okay? I want you to think about this for a second, Alexander. What gives you any reason to think that the Miami Dolphins with Tua would be able to compete with that Buffalo or Kansas City team in a game like that? Give me some real facts on why you think that. And don't worry, I'll wait right here for it. Let me hear, Alexander.
Because don't talk about regular season either.
Because what Tua has
Give us a playoff example.
Is a bunch of
Let's just start there.
Tua has played with a bunch of GameStop workers. He has played more games with Jakeem Grant than he has played with Devontae Parker. Okay? He has never had a consistent O-line. That every time you take a two-step drop, you got a defender in the back.
Hold on, Epps. Let him go.
Joe Burrow was ranked 22nd in the league.
Let him go, Epps. Go ahead. Keep going, Alexander.
And then
I'm gonna let you get it all out.
For 300, you throw for damn near 340 yards with 3 touchdowns and 1 pick against a top 2 quarterback in the NFL, and nearly beat him by 6. You nearly beat him. You only beat him.
He did that against Kansas City defense. Hold on, let me pump the brakes. He did that against Kansas City's defense,
which they fixed.
So then you can say the same about Josh Allen. Then
hold on, Epps. Hold on,
Epps. Same about Josh Allen.
All right, Crypto.
Then the same thing about Josh
hold
Allen.
on, all right, Alexander. I let you go. Crypto, then Epps. Go ahead.
Sorry
Crypto.
about that.
That's true. You're right. You can say the same thing about Josh Allen that did that against Kansas City's Soup Sandwich defense. But what was the difference maker? Their quarterback against their Soup Sandwich defense. So if all things equal, if you got the same amount of ranked defense against the other, that quarterback will be the difference maker. That was the difference maker.
All right,
because both of them had crap defenses, and then Mahomes was better. Just simply better.
Alex,
go ahead, Epps. Go ahead, Epps.
Let me explain something to you, Alex. Do you understand that in that New England game that we beat them in the last game of the season, Tua had everything perfect for him. He had the O-line playing good. He had the running game playing good. He threw for a measly 109 yards. Do you understand that Patty Mahomes...
We had a pick 6 too.
Hold on, please let me finish. Do you understand that Patty Mahomes threw for 177 yards in the final 2 minutes of the game? Tua threw for 109 yards in 4 quarters. When he had a running game, he had an O-line. He had healthy receivers. Do you understand that Patty Mahomes threw for 177 yards in the final 2 minutes? He threw for more yards than Tua did an entire game when Tua had everything surrounded around him.
When you have a running game,
he had a running game. That's what I just told you.
Hold on, Epps. Hold on, Alexander. Hold on, Epps. I want to applaud Epps because number one, now Epps was about to start yelling, but Epps made a point without having to yell and backed it up with statistical facts that made more sense than anything I've ever heard. He threw for 177 yards in the last minute. Epps, what was it? Say it again, buddy. Take yourself off mute. Say it one more time for me.
Final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, Patty Mahomes threw for 177 yards.
He threw
Tua had a running game and O-line, all his receivers healthy.
Okay.
He threw for 109 yards the entire game.
Calm down, Epps. I got you. I'm taking you home, buddy. I'm taking you home. He threw for more yards than Tua did on 2 or 3 games this year in the last 2 minutes. Come on, bro.
That's a problem, Alex.
Bro. Like that right there says it.
We're going to have the top 3 wide receivers along with him and the best running back in the game.
Hold on, Alexander.
We're talking about getting Derrick Henry and Devontae Adams is on this team on with Derrick somehow getting Derrick Henry in the backfield. But that's what it's going to take to win in the AFC playoffs.
Alexander, hold on 1 second, but I'm just putting you on mute for a second. Go ahead, Von Joe, because I want Von Joe. And by the way, I'm going to bring Jason back in here in a minute. Go ahead, Von Joe.
Steven, I've been listening for the past, I don't know, since the show started. I'm literally in my garage right now working out, as you can see.
Okay, go ahead, get your workout in.
I had to stop my workout because I was losing my pardon my language.
Swear jar. Swear jar,
I was losing my mind in here. That people think that, okay, first he mentioned Dayball coming to Miami. I'm okay with that if he brings that staff that I'm hearing. So I'm like, cool. But then somebody said he could probably fix Tua, and look at Josh Allen, then look at Tua. What makes you think that Tua could run and do everything that Josh Allen did in Buffalo?
Nothing.
Alex has no facts.
That's the guy we got to beat. That's the guy we really need to beat because we played him twice a year. Before we even get to Mahomes, let's forget Mahomes. We're going to have to beat Josh Allen twice.
Let Von Joe finish.
So that's one, right? That's one. Then I'm thinking about it. Alex keep mentioning just build around him, give him all these weapons. That makes the team better. That doesn't make him better. That just makes the team around him better.
That's like
So that's
waxing a
like
hoopty.
that's like, for example, you go into a house and there's a stank rug in the house and you spray it with Febreze, but there's still that underlying tone that still, when you first walk in, it smells fresh, but there's always that little musky odor that comes in afterwards.
Bravo,
Like,
Von
what is
Joe.
that? Like, what is that?
Bravo, Von Joe.
That's literally what it is. That's what you're doing.
The Febreze.
So
Yeah,
again,
that's the new word of the day, Febreze.
exactly.
Febreze.
The
Honestly, I
Dolphins are
love
looking for a can of Febreze.
I love Alex so much, and it makes me so crazy that
Yo,
he
I'm really
actually sees
losing my
Tua
mind.
play.
But Epps, it's not, and I'm gonna let Jason come in after my rant here. Epps, it's not even that, bud. It's a fact of, and I'm not even gonna throw Alex under the bus and say it like that. I'm just gonna say that I think we as Dolphin fans and some of the fan base think, well, we've been saying this. I got to point this out, and TD is somebody who's been saying it. We've been saying this for years. All we need to do is put a better offensive line and better wide receivers. But when you look at it, there is a baseline for players. And if that baseline is what it is with Tua, by the way, okay, then at the end of the day, you have to understand that even if you put everything perfect around him, it still isn't going to make up for the inefficiencies that he currently has.
That was my point, Stephen, about the
And
New
you're about
England
to-
game. He had everything perfect, and you saw what he did.
And two, y'all talking to all
And
these
right,
weapons to come
and
here.
Josh Allen don't have a perfect team around him. He has a soup sandwich, overrated,
New
number one
England
ranked
had
defense.
everything that the
Soup
two-
sandwich.
Y'all
New
talk
England
some,
had in the
all
New
these
England
weapons
game.
are
We
going to
had
come here.
everything that the Tuaneers wanted: a run game, an O line, receivers healthy, and Tua couldn't throw for over 110
Love
yards.
you, Alex.
Okay,
But again, why are you going to
That's
have all these
pathetic, man.
receivers come here with these deep threats to run bubble screens and slants and digs? Because again, Waddle in Alabama was catching bombs. He was catching 20-yard passes and running into the end zone. His first year in Miami, he was running bubble screens and quick slants all day.
So Alexander
what
was
makes you think,
just
what makes you think
That's what
Devontae
made me
Adams,
mad.
Alexander
Devontae Adams gonna come here and run bubble
just said,
screens?
Alexander,
Wildin'.
did your paper just say team better equals Tua better? Is that what that just said?
All right, bro.
Team better plus Tua better.
Yes, can Alex
Febreze
ask you
better.
one
Yeah,
question?
he gets
Doug
both, but
better.
Alex, can you answer
we're
one
not
question?
denying
I
he will become a good
I know
quarterback
Alex,
once
can you
everything
answer
around
one
him is
question with
increased.
no. His stats,
Good will not win you a
no,
Super
he's
Bowl.
not
Hold
gonna
on
be a
one
better
second. Can I have the
quarterback.
floor for 1 second? Alex, can you answer one question? Okay, in the New England
ahead.
game, Tua had everything that you've been asking for. A run game.
Jalen Waddle dropped
Let me
the
finish,
touchdown
please,
pass.
Alex.
No,
Alex,
let him
please.
finish, Alexander.
In the New England game, he had
Epps,
everything.
don't yell.
Go ahead.
He had
Don't yell,
everything
Alex.
that you asked for.
I didn't mean to
Alex.
cut you off. I apologize.
He had
I
everything that
apologize.
you asked for,
I
Alex. He had a
apologize.
run game. The O-line played great. His receivers were healthy. And he threw for 109 yards. Now, tell me why, when he had the team better, like you say, he did not get better.
Okay, I'll answer that perfectly. Okay, hold on. Let me just go ahead and
Look through your
Von Joe back there working out them feelings.
Okay. All right. So, Jalen. So I was at the game, so I could tell firsthand, and I was and I could see it. So So Jalen Waddle dropped a 60-yard touchdown pass. Okay, that's one on a quick slant. All right. Duke Johnson ran for over 100 yards. So therefore, when you have a running back running for over 100 and some yards, you don't need the quarterback to put up numbers like a Josh Allen does, or
How come Josh Allen ran for 100 yards in that
You
game,
don't need
and then
that.
he still put up for 300?
You don't need it.
All right. Hold on, Epps. Hold on. Calm down, Epps. Calm down. You're doing a good job. I just want to say, Epps, you're doing a great job today.
I'm trying.
Great job.
I was gonna say, Steven,
Alexander,
Epps is doing
what would be
phenomenal,
Eagles
okay?
without
This
the
is
two
doing
pick sixes?
guys. Hold on.
Tua did a
Well,
good
hold on.
job.
I just want to say
He did a
this.
good job managing
I wanna
that
say
game.
this.
Tua was fine.
Finish
But
your statement,
without
Alexander.
those
Go
two
ahead,
pick
Alexander.
sixes,
Oh,
we
okay.
will only
I
have like
just
20
wanna
points.
say this. Listen, at the end of the day, I am not, and I repeat, I am not a Tuaneer. Okay,
You fooled me.
I am a Dolphin at the end of the day, and always will be a Dolphin. And the reason why I'm so on the fence about Tua is because he is a good kid, and he has worked so hard to get better year after year. We
What
we
does
can
that
never
have to
say
do
this
with
after
being a good
Ryan.
football player?
We can never
let him
say
finish.
this to
Let
Ryan.
him finish, Epps.
We can never say this about Ryan Tannehill when he was here.
Tannehill's a great
he
guy.
is so far ahead.
Hold on.
He
Let
is
him
so
finish.
far ahead of Ryan Tannehill in his second year. He is so far ahead than what Tannehill was in his second year. The kid has excellent pocket presence. The kid has excellent pocket presence. When the pocket is breaking down, he knows when to get out. Okay, his accuracy is really good. Okay, it's not terrible. It's good, and it can't get better.
He's not mobile.
Okay?
He rarely ever runs. That's false.
His ball placement could get better. His accuracy, his completion percentage is fine. His ball placement can get better.
What I'm saying is he a mobile quarterback? No, he's not a mobile quarterback. But I think he could be a really good quarterback that can lead the team to the Super Bowl and win it. Because let me tell you something, you don't need an elite quarterback to win the Super Bowl. You don't.
Okay, well, don't
you
put your house.
No, you don't. We've established that you need a very good, a great, or an elite quarterback.
Hold on, Alex. I want to ask you a question. You said that he's a hard worker. First year, okay, he has a hip injury. All you could do is stay home. During COVID, you can't go nowhere. If he's such a hard worker, how come he can't learn a playbook?
Tom Brady couldn't run. Tom
No.
Brady
No.
Tom Brady has a 20-year excuse.
He has 8 rings, 7. Are
Again,
you kidding me?
Yeah, he
I'm
has an
not
excuse.
comparing
You can't
Tom
use
Brady
Tom
ever
Brady.
to
Hold on.
Tom Brady is an excuse.
I don't buy too.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. I want Alex to answer this.
I don't buy too much into that. I don't buy too much into
He
that.
said it himself. Tua told you. Tua told you that.
Said
Listen,
that.
I don't really learn the
But
playbook.
Tua said it himself.
Can I speak to that real quick?
You're right, and I have a thing behind that. Tua did say that, but here's the thing: at the end of the day, he did not want to throw his receivers under the bus. And at the end of the day, we all know his receivers were pure trash last year. Let's get that.
That's
let's
still
get that
no.
okay?
Listen. That's
Matt
still
Collins, I
doesn't
give you
understand why you
Collins.
don't
You're
know
right.
the
All
playbook.
it was pure trash because everybody know I wanted to get rid of DVP, and if we don't get rid of him, we ain't doing jack.
Hold on. You cannot say pure trash because his
You can
ball
have pure trash
placement was
receivers
not
and
good.
still know the plays.
Go ahead, Jolie.
He
Go ahead,
elevated
Jolie.
guys
Jolie.
like Matt Collins and Durham Smythe.
Well, what I
You're
was
right.
going to
He
say
is trash receivers, starting with DB.
It's not 100% that the receivers are pure trash. It's also on his ball placement too. He needs to get better at his ball placement. And that's one of the things that I know didn't help with all those drops. Now, granted, he has some beautiful throws. I will not take that away. But his ball placement definitely needed to be better, which would have helped with some of those drops. Now, as far as when it comes to wait, I'm not done. As far as when it comes to Tua himself, and I was talking to someone else about this. I actually am in the mindset that Tua is a spoiled brat. Let me explain. When you go to the best schools for football, the best camps, the best college, all of this around him, he's just expecting everything to come to him so I don't want to say easily. I'm not saying that he didn't work for it, but he just expected this level of status, I guess. And when he comes here, he actually has to, I don't know, work and grow through this team because obviously we're not great and we're not Alabama.
Jolie.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. And that's what I think he is. Spoiled brat.
I don't know if spoiled brat's the term that I would use, but I would say this. I would agree with you that I think I don't think he realized that. Think everywhere he went, high school, college, he was always the better. He was always on the more elite team. He always had the best around him. He comes to the NFL, he does not have
Yeah,
that.
it's the best around him, yeah.
He does not have the best around him.
I commemorate.
So he doesn't know how to deal with adversity, and that's the issue I have with him.
After he got busted up by Tennessee, Alex, you say he's a hard worker. He was out golfing on Monday.
I'm not blaming him for that. I have no problem with that.
I don't put too much stock
I don't
in the
put too much
golfing thing.
stock
That's fine.
into
That's
that.
his personal time,
Yeah, that's his personal time. Hold on, let me bring in
but
somebody
here's
else
the
to
thing,
this.
I
Hold
would-
on, Alexander. Hold on. TD Finstock. What's up, TD?
Somebody with some sense. Thank you.
What's going on, TD?
Bro, I don't want to
TD, what's
argue.
going on?
I don't want to argue with
Good morning, TD.
Okay. Good morning. I don't want to
Morning,
argue with
TD.
nobody.
Please
Can
talk
y'all
some
hear
sense
me?
into these guys.
Yep, we can hear you perfectly. Go ahead, TD.
Listen, I don't want to argue with nobody. I don't want to argue with anybody, okay? At what point are we going to stop lying? Okay? Why do I ask that? Why can't people just be honest and say, I love this kid so much, that I just want to see him win a Super Bowl. Stop trying to put false facts behind why he can and just be honest and say, I just want to see him do it. Because I like him as a person.
Yeah,
Why can't it just be honest?
And there's nothing wrong with saying that. There's nothing wrong with saying that.
Nothing wrong with saying that. Right.
People
Just
sound
say that, yeah.
crazy when they try to justify why they think he can. So a few things, man. The Kansas City, stop saying that Tua Tagovailoa went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes.
Thank you.
No,
Oh, my God.
And he didn't even come close. The game, and you know what's funny about this? I don't know if y'all know the homie G Firm, but we chatted up on occasions, and he said the same thing to me.
Is that it? Is that it, TD?
No, I think he muted his mic by. You muted your mic by accident, TD.
See, you got too passionate, man.
TD got. All right, real quick, while we wait for TD to come back. Jason, you still there?
Yeah, I had time to get my fourth cup of coffee.
Hold on, guys. Let Jason go. Go ahead,
I wanted
Jason.
to piggyback over what Joey
Hold
said.
on, Alexander. Hold on, bud. Go ahead, Jason.
I've been doing a lot of dot connecting because that's what I like to do. Before I speculate or tweet, I like to connect the dots with, if Daboll is the guy, and again, if he decides that that's where he wants to go to Miami, there are a lot of fun dot connections. Coaching-wise, call it fun, call it not fun, but Josh Boyer, in my mind, probably retained. Why? They have time together in New England. That's number one. Number two, there was a 2017 year where Brian Daboll was coaching in Alabama. He had a tight end named Mark Andrews. He knows how to utilize tight ends. Now he utilized Dawson Knox last year beautifully. Guy scored 9 touchdowns. Guy had double the amount of receptions and yards than usual. Mike Gesicki is probably really very interested in what Brian Daboll does because I would not want to go anywhere else if I were Mike Gesicki, and the Dolphins would probably be wise to put a nice piece of paper in front of him. There could be a lot of dominoes in a positive sense that could fall. Another 2017 Alabama connection would be Calvin Ridley, and that's someone who is back with Daboll 2017 in Alabama, and when Tua was just starting in Alabama. So that's a cheap get. There could be a lot of dominoes that fall very positively about this, and that's not even talking about who the offensive coordinator is.
Who do you think
Jason, quick question.
Yes,
did
sir.
Knox play did Knox really play in line, or was he like slotted out?
You know what? I can't tell you exactly, but if he's in line or if he's slotted out, regardless, he had 20 red zone receptions last year, which was 5th in the league. Mike Gesicki was 17th in the league with 12. It's usage when and where on the field. And to tell you the truth, a reason why I heard very, very, very at repetition and consistently of how unhappy Mike Gesicki was usage and play calling and timing that he was getting the ball. He only had 2 touchdowns, and he was just not targeted in the red zone, in the end zone, really at all.
Right.
No, the reason why I bring that up is why won't you sit there and run that with, what is it, Hunter Long and Smythe, both inline tight ends?
I like to answer questions confidently from the outside managerial, looking down from afar version. I can't really go X's and O's as well as others can, so I can't answer that as well as I would like to answer it, honestly.
Jason, I would love to ask you a question.
Answer.
I don't know much about you.
Yeah.
But it's a pleasure to hear you talk.
Yeah, facts.
Jason, what do you think about our success if we do continue going forward with Tua? Do you think we will have success in this league with Tua behind center?
Thank you all. Really very nice hearing such nice words. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the forum. I think in any situation, and I just correlate to my life, I help companies, I help candidates. If you have a very good candidate in a very toxic environment, a very good candidate can become bad. If you have a very good candidate in a very good environment, both places can go way up. And that's just my generality. So if you give Tua the right tools, if you take away the negativity, if you go into work every day thinking that the desk next to you could be filled with your replacement, you're not going 100% mental. I don't care who you are. So with Daboll potentially coming on board, with retaining potentially
Hey, hold on.
weapons,
Breaking news. Ian Rappaport is reporting the Bears are working to hire Matt Eberflus, can't say his last name correctly, as their new head coach. So that means Brian Flores is not going to Chicago.
Yeah,
And
so he
that
could end up there.
Wow, that's actually shocking.
And I will tell you, it furthers Jason's point that Dayball's coming here because I think that means Flores ends up with the Giants.
Yeah, Steven, I was literally going to say that. That is a very. I'll tell you what.
Is he high on their list?
I'm going to tell you what.
So is Dabo's high on their list.
No. Well, the thing is, and I'm going to be very, very blunt and kind of knock myself on the head here. If I'm telling you guys something, many other people know that. So the fact that I'm telling you this stuff about what Daboll's situation is, I'm sure there are sources around the league that the dominoes may fall with other teams hiring their contingency plans.
And by the way, I have said for weeks, the moment the first head coaching hire is complete, the rest were going to fall like dominoes. Did I not say that?
That's exactly right.
I said that. And
that's
I said
exactly right.
Yep.
And this is a
telling
very
you.
good
But the key thing here, the Vikings, Giants, and Dolphins has announced their people yet. So
I'm telling you, I think it's coming.
And
got to keep the
and
same.
Daboll's already had a second interview with the Vikings.
The Dolphins, I think, are
Giants
going to make the
completed.
announcement, if not today, tomorrow.
I disagree. Also,
I disagree.
on my show.
The Dolphins announcement coming in February.
I was told.
the playoffs are
I was
over.
told, and I told everybody last night. I told everybody last night that the issue that I have with the Brian Daboll situation is because I heard that Brian Daboll actually wants Buffalo, but I mean not Buffalo. He wants New York, but the problem is New York is favoring Brian Flores over him. And if New York doesn't hire Daboll, they will be a Dolphin. But we are his second option.
That's key.
Jason, can you answer that? Jason, can you elaborate on that?
I could elaborate and say that that's a very good path to take, and the dominoes could fall like this. If we are going to go second by second, and look, it's 2022. It's literally second by second. And Steven, you just broke some news while we're doing this, so that's case in point. Daboll, and I'm not tracking Jets here, folks. Boots are on the ground in Miami. Daboll's in Miami. So it's a situation where I'm not saying it's going to happen.
Hold on, Jason. More breaking news.
Do it up.
I told y'all that it was going to go down. Tom Pelissero is informing us that Dan Quinn has informed all the teams that he is going to stay with the Dallas Cowboys.
This is the greatest setup we could want for Dolphin fans, and I'm going to tell you why. And this plays about the entire domino. Brian Flores. Okay, let me back up 2 seconds. Now I got to be very careful about words here, Steven, because you get views, my dude. This is downloadable content. I got to be very careful. If Brian Daboll is the guy in Miami, I believe Brian Flores goes to New York. Patrick Graham is the guy that doesn't move in New York and matches himself with Brian Flores again, another connection. And our defense stays exactly the same with Josh Boyer and Gerald Alexander leading the charge. And I'm not taking any guesses on offensive coordinators, but they're going to bring in a light bulb guy who's going to light up the scoreboard.
I love you too. What's up?
Let me ask you this.
I would hope so.
Let me ask you this.
If DVP is not off this roster, they ain't lighting up nobody.
Well, that's why I'm saying
you're not being
trade for
serious
Calvin
about
Ridley.
anything if you keeping DVP on this roster.
I don't think that's going to happen, frankly.
So, Jason, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
As the Bears
Welcome
hired
back,
the coach
TD.
defensive coordinator, by the way, let me ask you a question, Jason.
Yes, sir.
Do you not think that the free agent wide receivers, the best of the best, who's going to get the best offers from more than 5 teams, are going to look at which quarterback is on what team?
It's a great question. And I could say that similar to how I answer coaching questions, nobody can jump into the head of the candidate. And again, I'm going back to my recruiting background because there's comparables. A lot of things come into factor, and through my knowledge and speaking with the people that I speak to, you know what the number one factor is in a lot of cases? Money. That's what it'll come down to, because in any regard, you got to know where your max value is in your life. And you get in the NFL, the best players get 2 contracts, maybe after their rookie contract, to set themselves up for the rest of their lives. And that's the fact.
But when you say names like Calvin Ridley, bro, he's going to get big money from almost every suitor, and we would have to greatly overpay.
I don't know about that. I necessarily don't know the market, but I also know that someone can go to a team and everyone scratches their head. Like Kenny Golladay went to the Giants. Why? There was a lot of money there. He had no touchdowns. So we really can't guess and speculate about signings and all this stuff and quarterbacks, location, money.
Well, it was a lot of money, though. That's the thing. You overpay.
Well, listen, there's $20 million coming onto a salary cap, and the Dolphins have 2 contracted wide receivers, Jalen Waddle and Devontae Parker. So they're losing Will Fuller, they're not losing anything. Albert Wilson's on a 1 year. He's out, probably not coming back. Preston Williams' contract is up. They need people. So there's money coming in that they'll get back. I'm not saying they're going to make the move for Calvin Ridley. I like to connect the dots. So if you're talking about playbook and familiarity, yes, Calvin Ridley also had his issues, but you ask about Tua's comfort zone. What about other players' comfort zones? Every player in the NFL is a play away from injury, and everyone's injury prone because it could happen at a second notice. And it's a convoluted topic, injuries, and not everyone had a situation like Will Fuller, which could have been a variety of different things on top of a smashed finger. But TD, I hope that answers your question. I'm not deviating from it.
It did. It's just that I guess here's the issue that we're dealing with in today's NFL. We're starting to see quarterbacks where it almost don't matter what defense you put together.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say.
We're starting to see a level of play where 30 points are going to be put up regardless. And if you don't have a guy that compete with that on the offense, I don't care what weapons you have, because they have the weapons too. If you don't have a guy to keep up with that, I'm sorry. What are we doing it all for?
I can't make a determination definitively until I see a machine working with all the parts working the way that they should work. And
sometimes you never see that. Sometimes
you see that.
Probability of the machine.
You know what's funny about that? Even in Cincinnati, even in Buffalo, even in the Chiefs, that's really not a well. See, sometimes we think it's a well-oiled machine because the quarterbacks do it. Like, look how many times Josh Allen and Mahomes were actually running for their life and making plays. That's not a well-oiled machine. That's an actual
and you can even
exactly
like it's well-oiled.
Pick your poison. I mean, a lot of years it's case by case. You got a team who could win like the 2001 Baltimore Ravens. You got a team that can win like the Saints, like the greatest show on turf. There's different scenarios all over the place. And you are
the
right.
2001 Ravens were
but you
20
just
years
named
ago.
2 teams that had a dude at quarterback.
I named one guy who used to bag groceries and played in arena football and then got put on the greatest show on turf with 2 amazing wide receivers and
became a Hall of Famer.
He became a Hall of Famer. He was that dude.
Kurt Warner. Now
listen,
TD.
Warner's a great quarterback.
What are you talking about?
We also watched Marino, and there's different ways to win. If you were Don Shula, you could have won with the 72 team, or you could have got to the Super Bowl with a young Marino, and then nothing else seemed to have worked. So we can't look for another Marino. It's never going to happen. And
in this era, the probability you need another Marino. And Marino in today's time, they would.
We're about to watch Jimmy Garoppolo play for a Super Bowl. Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's it, and that's going to be his limitation. He'll be ousted this weekend.
But Jimmy Garoppolo has a chance to go to his second Super Bowl in 3 years. Let's just comprehend that.
Right, but he had the perfect team around him.
But
Jason,
that's my point.
See, here's the deal, Jason. This is the fork in the road with the Miami Dolphins in the NFL, in today's NFL, where the salary cap matters. Here's the fork in the road. When you talk about a quarterback like Jimmy G and Tua Tagovailoa, you have to check off 10 boxes around him and make sure that they're on point. But when you talk about a Patrick Mahomes and a Josh Allen, You just got to check off 4 to 5 boxes around him and make it to.
But you're going to watch heart
And
attack
if
games
PD
like that, TD.
So
You're
what
going to
I'm
watch
saying,
but
heart
they
attack
win.
games.
He's got to go to his third straight Super Bowl.
What I'm saying to you is, which one is easier? Which one requires more boxes to be checked?
I'll tell you what would be easiest. Throwaway stats. Number one. I don't care if a quarterback goes 10 of 15 for 112 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks, but they win 17-12. I don't care. So I really couldn't care about stats or quarterbacks keeping up in 33-30 slugfest. I want a built team, and that's what the Dolphins are really trying to do. And this year, with this late first-round draft pick, is a blessing in disguise, because they've had 5 first-round picks in the last 2 years. So they have a chance to really kind of maybe play with the pick, move it back, get some more picks, maybe move it up with the other pick that they got from Waddle, get a stud line. I don't know, but they have enough players to give to a 1 year to maybe make some noise on his rookie contract to prove that he's the guy. And if he's not, the rookie contract is over. You don't pick up the 5th-year option. You maybe cut him on the 4th year, which could save a little bit of money, and then you start fresh if that's the case. But I don't think that's going to be the case, because I would love to see free agent veteran sign, bring in a Teron Armstead at offensive line, put a veteran there, maybe draft a kid on the inside or a center. Keep the weapons, Gesicki. Get a new weapon on the outside. If you're going to replace Devontae Parker,
We
get
need
a fourth.
3 new weapons if we're going to keep with the same people in the
That
backfield.
is fine. You know what? I'll tell you what. You want to go budget and get a Christian Kirk to kind of a mirror image with Waddle? I would be okay with that. There's a lot of options.
Jason, it's all good building the team. The problem that we need to consider is the fact that that's what everybody is doing.
Cincinnati's going to get better. Cincinnati's going to get better too. They got $60 million under cap.
I'm not going to
look at. They want to work on their offensive line.
How
am
am
I
I
going
going to look at the New Orleans Saints?
Go ahead, TD. Go ahead, TD.
Let me try to finish the point.
Okay.
Everybody's trying to build a team. What I'm trying to say to you is this: with all factors the same, okay? Let me give you a perfect example. Let's take the Bengals, for instance. Let's just compare the Miami Dolphins team with the Bengals team. With all factors the same, the Bengals are leaps and bounds ahead of us.
The Bengals have 3 unbelievable receivers, TD.
Hold on. I'm almost done.
TD, they're not the same team at all.
Help you with that
That's
point.
because the Dolphins kept Devontae Parker for way too long.
Let TD finish. Let
me finish the point, because yes, I'm acknowledging what you just rebutted. The Bengals are leaps and bounds ahead of us and have just about the same amount of money in free agency as us. So as they get better, see what I'm saying? How much more and they got a better draft pick. How much more better can we get than them when they got just about the same amount of money? We got 70 million.
TD,
they got 65 million.
TD,
that's the new standard.
Go ahead,
I'm
Jason.
going to lay it out like this. Couldn't care what the Bengals are doing. Couldn't care what the Broncos
are doing. The playoffs would it matter then?
TD, let me go now. I'm not looking at other teams when I'm building or thinking about how to build the Dolphins. And the Dolphins are calling other teams. They're working with other teams, but they're not saying, what are we going to do? The Bengals are ahead of us. They're not thinking that way. The Bengals also got to protect Joe Burrow, or else nobody's watching him in 4 years. That's number one. And the Bengals are going to have a problem retaining all those 3 receivers in 2, 3, 4 years. So let's see how their salary cap plays out. Let's see if their defense holds up. There's so many factors.
Same year.
They said the same thing about Kansas City. They're about to go to their first Super Bowl.
Again,
they're about to go to their 4th Super Bowl.
Again.
But hold on. I got to say this on that point, Jason. I totally disagree. The reason why we went and got 2 corners like we did, like most teams are trying to invest in now. Why do you think the Miami Dolphins got 2 corners? They weren't looking at themselves and just trying to make the best team. They were looking at the AFC East and saying, we have to be better in the secondary to compete. And
I think that you can create that narrative. Sure, I'm not going to disagree with you saying, yeah, there are weapons in the AFC. We need cornerbacks. But my point is, they're building a team, I think, pretty solid. And last year's draft class was phenomenal in their first 3 picks. 2 years ago, obviously the jury's still out. I really don't want to stress on that. But the fact that they have so much money in free cap space, they have a lot of flexibility. I'm not worrying about other teams because the foundation is in place with a phenomenal defensive backfield. I don't think anybody could argue that. And I'm probably alluding to the fact that that coaching structure is going to stay similar. All right. And if you retain Nick Needham, and he's a restricted free agent, he helps with the flexibility. Don't know what they're going to do with guys like Coleman or McCourty, but the core is contracted and staying. You need a couple of holes to fill on that defense to make it really cook. Middle linebacker, run-stopping linebacker. That could be done via free agency or via, the draft. I am not pushing any panic button. I know, TD, your history with Tua. I'm not saying anything negative. I'm not a stan. I'm not a hater. I'm a team guy. If Aaron Rodgers is quarterback, I don't care. Let's go Aaron Rodgers a quarterback. That's what it is. It's the uniform. It's the helmet. It's not the person under it. For me, it's what the team does. And I think the Dolphins are close. The coach is huge. And I'll be able to put more judgment on when the coach is hired.
Page in that regards. I just feel like, Jason, what we're looking at in today's NFL, you don't have to pay attention to the other teams, but they're going to force you to notice who they are. Teams have to build to beat certain teams in today's NFL. I mean, at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is a Super Bowl. And every team is in search of trying to figure out what is the formula to win Super Bowls in today's NFL. That's what organizations are trying to do. What is the formula to win Super Bowls in today's NFL? And the frustrating part, even for me, is so many people are stuck in the 90s and early 2000s way of football, when this is a totally different league where the salary cap has a bigger impact than the way you can, the type of way you play football. All of those things mattering when you put them together in today's NFL, there is an advantage you can have. And that's an elite quarterback. Doesn't guarantee you, but it is an advantage. And when we went through the list, me and Stephen D the other day, 64 eligible quarterbacks in the last 16 years. 64. 6 of them were not elite, great, or really good. Only 6 of them. And out of those 6, only one of them won a Super Bowl, and that was Flacco. And
Jason,
out of all 6 of those, only one of them went.
Really good.
Only 2 of them went to a Super Bowl, and that was Garoppolo and Flacco. At the end of the day, we can ignore stats like that, but that's why I always reference back to Tom Brady, what he said. Why are you the lowest paid quarterback in the NFL, Tom Brady? He looked in the camera and said, because I enjoy the competitive advantage of having more surround me. Salary cap matters if you don't have one of those elite guys. And the problem is, we need an elite guy in a window when we got all these guys on a rookie contract, because it's the best opportunity to win a Super Bowl because you can afford an elite guy. Now, it may get tougher as time goes, but that's when you start this whole building team thing. But right now, you're in a window. Look at all these young quarterbacks on rookie deals going to the Super Bowl in the AFC Championship game. The only reason they're doing that is because they're in a money window. Patrick Mahomes' money still hasn't hurt his team until next year. Josh Allen's money still hasn't hurt his team. All of these quarterbacks in that money window are winning. So we are in that window because we have all these first rounders on a cheap deal where the first time you can afford a big money quarterback. But right now, we're not taking advantage of that opportunity. I know it's going to become an issue 3 years from now when them first rounders start wanting their money. But if you do it right, like the Patriots, and start rotating talent and keep on trading for assets and bringing in the new ones to play 1 year behind the starter, you can build a well-oiled machine just like the Patriots did. Here we are trying to sit there
more
and
breaking
spend
news.
50,
More breaking
60
news.
million.
Hold on, TD. More breaking
Vikings
news.
hired a GM.
Nope. So Jaguars are bringing in Vic Fangio. That's not an official thing yet, but it looks like Vic Fangio instead of Byron Leftwich could be the new head coach in Jacksonville. That's not official yet.
Candidates running out of candidates.
But dude, so two things. Number one, Jason earlier reported, according to his sources, that Brian Daboll is in Miami as we speak. And that's all we really know about that. But I'm telling you right now,
They're hiring Brian Flores right now. Then
who's hiring Brian Flores? TD.
The Giants have to be.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree with that. I'll say this. I'll say two things. I said from the get-go, I said the moment the first head coach goes, the domino effect was going to go. And I am so accurate about that because according to Schefter and Plesero, the NFL news is not over today. I truly believe that by the end of today, the Miami Dolphins could have their new head coach.
And yes, Stephen D, guess what? The Flores to the Giants automatically nicks that narrative of Watson being linked to him because the GM came out and said, we're not getting Watson. Yeah. That narrative is totally
100%.
That link is totally disconnected. Exactly.
Yeah,
it instantly kills that narrative.
That narrative was a lie to begin with. But
Exactly.
Crypto, here's the thing.
By people who wanted to feel better about our quarterback.
That can easily be debunked if Flores goes in there and wants Watson.
You can keep that. You can try to keep it alive to make yourself feel good about our situation.
I have a question.
It's not happening.
I have a question for TD and also for Jason because number one, I want to thank both of you guys for coming on the panel this morning. You guys have been great together. I do want to ask you if Daboll becomes official, whether it's today or tomorrow. Do you think that who do you think the offensive coordinator should be? Because it sounds like Boyer is going to be retained. From what Jason said and what I've been reading on Twitter now, Boyer will be retained as the defensive coordinator. Who do you think will be the OC? I guess I'll start with TD first.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no clue because Daboll. Every time I speak to someone up in Buffalo, whether it's I spoke to a beat writer last week, and I speak to the people who cover them on the normal. Daboll isn't the one who's responsible for Josh Allen according to them. So as far as an offensive coordinator, I have no clue because I hope he could bring whoever in.
Dorsey. I want to see him bring Dorsey as one.
Yeah, but they're saying if anything, that'll be a promotion over there for him in Buffalo.
It will be. It would. So I said it would make sense for Dorsey.
Everybody in the organization knows that Dorsey is the main contributing factor to Josh Allen. That's why I wasn't high on Daboll to begin with to help Tua. If anything, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know this may sound crazy. I actually, even though people were like, no, I would rather somebody proven that has moved a young quarterback like Tua to improve him, like a Sean Payton. And what they were able to do with the Drew Brees situation, having Drew Brees started, the way Drew Brees started his career. So I really I don't know who really is proven enough to say that they can help Tua get to that next level outside of a guy like Sean Payton, only because it's on his resume. Drew Brees struggled in those 3 years, and immediately it turned around. So Brian Daboll would have to search high and low because I don't think he has anybody in his repertoire other than the guy who's probably going to be promoted to OC in Buffalo anyway, who's really responsible for that offensive success to begin with.
Head coach has never been directly involved with a quarterback. Was Dan Marino better because of Don Shula? No.
I'm not saying that they were involved, but if Sean Payton was the head coach, that means he knows the necessary people that can make that
okay,
change.
yeah, that's
what I meant.
Hey, can I ask a question?
Hold on. Because they're going to start linking Sean Payton to Miami just so they can.
Steven, keep it going. Give me 3 minutes. I'm literally working on your question. I think I'm going to have a break. So give me 30 seconds.
Let me ask a quick question.
In those 3 minutes, people need to realize, man, I want a better quarterback because I know I don't have to I don't have to operate off of hope. That's why I want a better quarterback. But if I'm forced to hope, then we need to do everything in our power to make sure Tua has the best coaching option. And I'm telling you, Brian Daboll ain't doing nothing in his career as a coach. His resume shows you that. The only thing that he gets cachet for is Buffalo, and everybody in that organization says that he's not responsible for it.
Look, I mean,
go look at his resume.
Steven,
that's Sperano 2.0.
I'd like to ask a question. Does anybody think that maybe we haven't had any second interviews at all for any head coaches, or we haven't really been extremely interested in any coaches because Deshaun Watson's legal issues are supposed to be getting resolved late January, early February?
Well, apparently, we're giving Daboll
Could that be a factor? I'm just asking. Because we haven't really showed any interest in anybody, no second interviews.
Right.
Could that be a factor of us waiting to hire our coach?
They're waiting on Bieniemy. I'm telling you, they're waiting in February. They're going to make the announcement in
I'm
February.
wondering if we don't hear a head coach today, could that be a factor in why we haven't hired a head coach yet? Because we're waiting on this grand jury.
Could be.
Anybody have any thoughts on that?
Well, Watson has 2 dates, okay? Late January, early February is for the criminal to see where that's going to go.
Right.
He has, for the civil, he has a deposition January 20th.
Okay.
I don't think they care about the civil if the criminal is no factor.
Right.
But if the criminal is still a factor, they're waiting to see what happens civilly, because if he settles civilly, then the contracts in the settlement will probably have them drop the criminal. So that's where the issues are coming from. So whatever one happens first, the dominoes will fall. But I'm sorry, I don't think that the coaching decision is going to be held up to see what happens with Watson.
Okay.
I think they find a coach that will, because any coach they select will be fine with the Watson situation.
Right. Okay, yeah. I was just wondering because we haven't really
still got to March.
We haven't really heard any kind of, anything perfect about a head coach, and I don't know what the Dolphins are doing here, and I'm just wondering if maybe Stephen Ross is waiting to see what happens with Deshaun Watson, or what's going on, because it's getting that time to where the grand jury, and like you said, once the criminal's gone, I don't think anything matters about the civil because they were already willing to settle.
All right, so let me ask you, guys, while we're waiting on Jason and TD hopefully comes back. I know he got to drop off for a second. What do y'all think about this breaking news of all these head coaches finding a home? And it looks like, what are your thoughts if it's Brian Daboll? Just interested to know your thoughts on the panel. Start with Jolie, then Dolphin Don, and work our way around. Go ahead, Jolie.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. Well, for me, I think the same mentality is kind of across the league. Right now, they really want to go ahead and make sure that they have their head coach settled so that they can start free agency and all of these scouting and get the team right at the beginning of the offseason. As far as Daboll, I'm still a little bit concerned because I don't want to pigeonhole this team because of one player. And yes, if we hire Daboll, it looks to me like it's 100% on Tua. And I don't want to pigeonhole the team for one player. There's still 53 players. And that's one of the main reasons why I don't want Daboll. But could he make it happen? Of course he could. I just don't think that we need to make a whole decision on a franchise when it's for one player. So that's my only concern with that.
Yeah, I could see something.
Jason, I see your tweet, Jason.
The tweet is confirmed. I am pretty sure that if Brian Daboll becomes coach, it is looking like he will bring Ken Dorsey with him, who is the QB assistant.
That I'm good with.
I do not
that
know
I'm good with.
At what capacity, but I am told I will read you the text.
Okay.
But I will not
say the source. That's fine. Read the text.
This is verbatim. Daboll is bringing his QB assistant to be the QB coach.
Okay.
And that's what I have at the moment, and it's been quantified.
So
his QB assistant to be the QB coach.
His QB assistant.
Which is passing game coordinator quarterbacks Ken Dorsey. I'm working on any other name that it could be, but it looks like that is the case. And it was not me who started that, because that could also be Shea Tierney. But rumor was that Ken Dorsey was yesterday going in too. So it could be Dorsey, it could be Tierney, but I think that it's going to be Dorsey.
Okay.
I mean, look, it's woo.
I can get with that.
I'm telling y'all, this news is starting to come out like hotcakes.
I can get with that.
Look, if Dorsey comes with Daboll, I can live with it. I can live with it because I think that it would definitely show me. I think the only thing that would
they're
then
maybe
scare
giving
me,
an effort.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wanted Ken Dorsey last year as the OC. So I think that if Ken Dorsey came here this year with somebody like Daboll, who then, by the way, has that relationship with Tua, if we end up keeping Tua, then there is that look. There's the cohesiveness factor there, and to TD's point that he was just saying a second ago, that doesn't mean that we're out of the race of Deshaun Watson.
Right. I don't care who the quarterback is. If those two coordinators come here, and if on day one they get announced as coach, and in their press conference they're not announcing they're cutting DVP, then I don't believe none of this crap. They're not serious. On that same day that they're giving their press conference, they're saying, by the way, we're getting rid of DVP. Because
Crypto, you have a serious problem with DVP, man.
They better be announcing.
No,
on
but
that day
I
that
get
DVP will
crypto.
be cut.
I get it too, but I mean, like,
It's 16. He can't give you 16 weeks. He cannot give you 16 weeks.
I
in the same
understand that,
season.
Joey, but I'm saying he's basically the cranberry sauce to the turkey dinner. He's irrelevant. You understand what I'm saying? Like our first of all, we need our turkey. We need our turkey, our coach. Then we need our stuffing. You know, we need our quarterback. I mean, the cranberries on the side. DVP's irrelevant to what this team's going to be winning going forward. It's just I don't seem to think putting your energy on DVP makes no sense at this juncture.
No, if they keep him on the team, we're dead.
That doesn't make any sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
No, it doesn't.
He's dead. What is he giving you in 7 years? 1,000 yard
how
receiver?
Is DVP
and your rookie wide receiver.
How is DVP going to
because they're not serious about the weaponry on this team.
Okay, I'm not gonna
Steven, let me jump again in.
He's irrelevant.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
Irrelevant.
Go ahead, Jason. Go ahead, Jason.
I am double and triple now checking on the Ken. There is an assistant quarterback coach coming with Daboll if he signs to Miami. I am now. This might have been. I'll take an error here. I'm maybe jumping the gun. There is an assistant quarterback coach coming. If Daboll is coming to Miami, I am confirming whether that is Ken Dorsey or Shea Tierney. Both of them worked with Daboll in Buffalo with quarterbacks. And we have Dorsey, who was quote-unquote passing coordinator as well. So there also were rumors about Dorsey potentially getting lifted in Buffalo to take over Daboll's job. So again, this is all fluid. I am doing my absolute best here, guys. So I'm sorry if anything is getting a little hot and heavy here, but I'm doing what I can.
Hey, Epps,
I can see that.
What kind of help does Waddle has on the other side of the ball, on the other side of the line of scrimmage? What kind of help does Waddle have? Unreliable, undependable receivers, only 40 catches in it. Yeah, one guy, Glenn Davis, gets a 200-yard game, and he never scratched 200 yards in his whole career with the Dolphins. And they keep coddling him, and they need to get rid of him. What's with this coddling of a man that can't give no help to a rookie wide receiver who got 100 catches in his first season? 1,000 yards.
I don't know if DVP and you have a personal issue, but let me tell you. Okay, listen, we're going to hire a wide receiver in free agency regardless. DVP is on a contract that doesn't cost that much for us right now.
That's the problem. It costs too much. Anything more than $5 is too much.
Okay, so you have a personal issue. I get it. Okay.
No, it's not personal. He just needs to be off this team.
There's no commitment.
That's what I'm saying.
Trying to say.
That's what I'm
I
trying
don't
to
want to
say.
care about us being
It
tied
won't
to a
matter.
contract that's dragging the team down. He's
Listen,
dragging
we
his team
kept Will.
down. We're not effective.
We kept Will Fuller on the roster.
I'm sick of these number 2 and 3
Listen,
wide
Crypto,
receivers throughout the league
calm down,
balling
man. Calm
out,
down.
and he can't ball out. You can't
Crypto,
blame it on our quarterback.
Crypto,
He's
let me
a
get in a
bum.
word, man. Listen, man. Listen. We kept Will Fuller on a 53-man roster, and he didn't even play. So keeping DVP.
So he's just as
listen,
effective
let me
as
finish,
DVP.
Crypto, please, man. So keeping DVP is irrelevant to this team's success going forward. We have so many more issues.
We gotta
at hand.
replace him. We
Let
gotta
me
get more
finish. Let me
firepower.
finish. Never.
We
I'm,
need
I'm
number
done.
2.
I'm not going to get into an argument. I'm done. Continue.
No, because that's freaking nonsense.
You won't let me talk. You
That's
won't let me talk.
malarkey.
You won't let me
Because
talk, and I'm not going to get into a verbal
because
altercation again.
underlying that whole narrative is let's just keep him. Let's just
I'm
bring
done.
him along. That's what it's leading to. Let's just bring him
No,
along.
it's not.
Because
I'm not saying
he's only
that.
costing
I'm
us
fine
$5
with getting
million.
rid of. Listen, Crypto, if you
He's
would let
only
me say
costing
one
us
thing,
$5 million.
if you would
So
let me
let's just
talk,
bring him
Crypto,
along.
I'm fine with getting rid of
No.
DVP. I don't care about DVP. He's irrelevant to me. That's my point. DVP,
Yeah, but and Crypto.
Let me talk.
Let me also say Crypto too.
Golly.
Let me also say.
This is why I yell, man.
I will also say Crypto that DVP has no bearance, in my opinion, on whether this team is successful next year.
He's holding a roster spot that somebody else could be taking.
With that being said, Crypto, with that being said, it's not like the Dolphins have made better choices with the other wide receiver slots.
They have with the draft. They have with Waddle.
They
have with Mac Collins.
They've started to.
And then the rest of them is a sack of crap.
I like Mac Collins.
And then Bowden's unreliable too.
Steven, all right.
The rest of them outside of Hollins and Waddle is a sack of crap.
Go ahead, Epps. Epps, the floor is yours. Crypto, let Epps talk.
Listen, man. We kept Will Fuller on this roster. Like I said, he didn't play any games. Now, when Devonta Parker has been on the field, he has been one of our most effective wide receivers. Now, Devontae Parker is irrelevant to me. I don't care if we keep him. I don't care if we get rid of him because it's not going to cost us much. Now, if he's injured, if he only plays 9 games, okay, fine. But he will be help to the team if he does play 9 games. Now, we're going to get a
Waddle gets shut down.
Never mind.
He
Crypto,
never comes up.
Crypto,
He never blows
Crypto,
up.
I'm done. Crypto, I'm done.
I'd argue with you,
When
Crypto,
Waddle
man, but
gets-
I
when
don't
Waddle
agree
when
with you,
Waddle
man.
gets- when
I'm not going
Waddle
to talk to
gets shut
somebody
down,
who will not let me get in a word.
he
It's
never freaking
ridiculous.
shows up.
All
He's
right,
never
all
a
right.
difference.
All right.
Okay, so
Crypto
we got
and
so
Epps.
let me, let's
Time
do
What
out,
this.
game has he been a difference maker?
He-
What game? Name one game he's been a difference maker
The
when
only,
Waddle
the
gets
only
shut
game.
down. That's
We
right.
were doing
Waddle
so
is
good, guys.
There's only been one game in his since Ryan. One game. It's actually been the Eagle game about 2 years ago. That was probably it. Other than that, he has really never taken over a game. That's why Devontae Parker needs to get out of here. He needs to go. He needs to get out of here, and we need to give him his walking papers.
Yeah.
Or
How many
trade
people
him
have
for
Devontae
a,
Parker on
game
a
in
fantasy
7
team?
seasons. Nobody. Exactly.
Nobody.
One
Fantasy
game in
football-
7 seasons.
Nobody.
Fantasy
So
football
keeping
is
him on
irrelevant.
here,
Steven, I got to jump back in
keeping
real
him
quick.
on this team
All right.
one.
Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, just again with the craziness of the morning, doing absolutely the best here. I made a silly connection that I want to just correct myself on. Mark Andrews, don't know why. Pretty much correlated him to Alabama. He obviously went to Oklahoma, so I wanted to make that correction. And I am still wanting to see what happens with the Dorsey and Tierney situation. If that's the case with Dable, it does appear that he is bringing someone in the quarterback assistant room with him.
Well, there's also rumors saying now that Wink Martindale, who was just let go by the Baltimore Ravens as the defensive coordinator, is being linked to Brian Daboll and could also be our new defensive coordinator.
Nice.
That is possible too.
I like that. And
That's actually what I was actually telling you about earlier, Stephen, too, about the sources, and I told everybody about that. That Leighton Martindale and Ken Dorsey could be coming with Ryan Dable. But I would love that, man.
Yeah,
I
me
would
too.
actually love that.
There's no problem with having cheap.
But
There's no problem with having cheap depth at wide receiver. That's my point.
No, I
If you
agree
can't
with that.
realize
Hey,
that,
Steven,
right.
drop the
if you
link for
can't realize
CD.
that, if you think we're cooked, if you
It's
think we're
terrible.
cooked
We're
because
cooked.
DVP is on the team, then I just don't know what to tell you, bud.
He's
On
holding
the
up a
cheap.
spot that could be held by somebody that's effective, that's going to be
Crypto,
productive.
crypto. I will say that you're not necessarily wrong, and right at the same time, I straddle the fence just a little bit from the standpoint of, if you look at it, I don't think DVP is going to play that big of a factor into it. Hey, real quick, because I only
No, I'm not saying he's playing a bigger fact. He's a drag. He's holding up a spot. He's occupying a spot that somebody can have. That's the point.
I
He's
got you.
occupying a
Crypto.
spot that
I
somebody can
understand your
have
point.
that's effective.
I understand
Drop
your
the
point.
link
All
for
right,
TD.
all right.
Drop the link for TD.
TD's in the back. Dude, I have a hard out, so I'm gonna let a couple of you go real quick. So, because I want to leave Jason and TD on to finish their conversation, because I have a hard out. I have to take my kids to the doctor. So, I only got about 15, 20 minutes left. So,
right on.
I'm sorry, guys. I apologize.
It's
But
all
we're
right,
gonna
Steven.
Don't apologize for that, man.
Steven, I'll go ahead and get off.
Don't ever apologize
listen,
for
man,
that.
everybody,
No need to apologize.
Don't
man.
ever
everybody have a
apologize for
blessed
that,
day.
man.
It was great listening to
Yep.
TD and Jason. Everybody's takes were
All right,
great.
Epps.
You all have a great
Epps, hit
day.
me up, man.
I'll
Bye,
hit you up,
Epps.
bro.
I hit you up on Twitter last night, man. But I didn't.
All right, I'm gonna let you all go. Y'all can talk off the air in the chat. I love you guys. All right. There goes Alexander, Dolphin Don, Jolie. All right, and Crypto. Let me bring on my man TD. Fins talk. So I'm gonna leave Jason and TD on. What's up, guys?
What's up? I will never forgive myself about Mark Andrews, and I'm never drafting him again.
So I want to. So I only have about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, left, and I want to close it out with you guys.
AKA 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, no, because I have a feeling this news is going to break here soon, and then TD's going to go live and he's going to take all the views. And
Yeah, I'll be live in 25 minutes, man.
All right. Well, then this is good. So we'll finish here with me, and then we'll transfer over to you. So Jason is like getting text, I guess. You're getting text as we speak, right, Jason?
I'm typing, texting, and yeah, I think my other landline is working still. Jesus.
Did he sign the deal? Did he sign it yet?
No, nothing is. The deal's in front of him. I mean, the ball's in his court, and I'm seeing coaching title that's going with. So it's on me for jumping the gun on maybe the Dorsey name, and I'm gonna, basically.
Yeah, you got me all hot and bothered because if Dorsey comes, it's
listen,
a good hire. If Dorsey doesn't come, I don't like this hire.
I am worried I jumped the gun a little bit, but we could be very certain that if Dable comes, there will be quarterback assistants in that room coming. I just don't necessarily know if it is exactly Dorsey. So that is on me.
TD, let me ask you,
It'll
man.
be interesting to know.
Were you weren't a Dayball fan, right?
Oh, I'm his resume is just terrible to me.
Yeah. So, look, I mean, you agree with me that we're going to be and look, people are going to get mad at me for being negative Nelly, but I got to be honest with you. I think this hire puts us in the same position, if not next offseason, 2 or 3 off seasons from now, doing the same thing all over again.
Well, listen, that's operating under the assumption that Dayball is going to even continue forward with Tua. I mean, I know all that's been out there, but that's still that like.
But the connection is there. You have to assume that to a certain extent.
People need to stop with these connections. He was the number 2 guy in his quarterback room and couldn't even get him to start when he recommended it to Nick Saban, and it was for 1 year when the kid didn't even play. So I mean, with this connection thing, man, the same thing they said about Charlie Fry, right? Connection. It's always connection. All I'm saying is I am the type of person I want, and that's what I was trying to say to Jason, because he said something that was interesting to me. He said, I already know your takes on Tua or whatever, right?
I didn't mean it negatively, TD.
No.
I'm educated on everything that has been. Look, it's not a bad or a good thing. It's just I know what's been out. I know what you put. I know what's going on.
My thing is this, Jason. This is why I'm so convicted in this critical time in Dolphins history. That's what I like to call it. Because whatever decisions we make this year could negatively impact us for the next 10 years or positively impact us for the next 10 years. And nobody knows what the future holds, but we want to get it right. Here's my thing. The reason why I want to move off of Tua is because I want to go get an elite quarterback if we can, only if we can, right? That's the only thing that makes sense. I want to go get an elite quarterback because it's going to take all Dolphin fans out of the realm of hope. Hope that he improves, hope that he gets better, hopes that his game goes to the next level. We don't have to worry about that hope like we've been doing for 23 years. Now, if we can't get a better quarterback, then my number one priority, get us a coach and a coaching staff that is going to get the most out of this kid.
Yep.
Get him everything he could possibly get because he's all we have to ride on. So he has to be great. He has to turn the corner. He has to make that next jump. And it's unfair. And believe it or not, Jason, a lot of people don't realize this about me. I've been saying this for 2 years now. I've been mad at the Dolphins about Tua, not Tua. I've been mad that they didn't put him in a pro-style offense from day one so that he could go ahead and struggle early, get it out of his system. Because when quarterbacks come from perfection in college and they're dumped into the NFL in a pro-style offense and they get into pro-style defenses with these athletes, it is a mind-blowing situation to them. That's why I look at Trevor Lawrence, who's struggling, but at least it's in a pro-style offense. So I've been mad at the Dolphins for 2 years. I've said it. If you really care about Tua's growth and development, put him in a pro-style offense and let us see him throw interceptions, and I won't complain about a single one of them because he's getting the different looks. He's learning what it looks like, and he's going to get better from that. But we literally created an offense, which is the RPO, which only lasts but so long, until a defense is going to force you in a pro style. Saints game, defense forced us in a pro style. Titans game, off the rip, made them play a pro style offense. Buffalo always put them in a pro style. They try to RPO, shortly live, get your behind back in the pro style. And he has his worst games. And I don't get mad that he has his worst games because I know he was supposed to, because this is the type of offense that he's going to struggle with. So they should have put him in that for 2 years and let him struggle, because then I would have had faith in year 3 that he turned the corner. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Insert a new coach, insert a new playbook. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be pro style because they cannot continue in the same format. And this will be the struggle year. And he doesn't have this year as an opportunity to struggle, because they took away the years he was supposed to struggle. Drew Brees started out rough. Drew Brees was pro style day one. It's not easy for these kids to run it. Patrick Mahomes still can't read defenses, believe it or not. But he makes up with it with his athleticism and his ability to extend plays and his arm strength and that cannon, just like Josh Allen. A lot of these guys that look amazing at least have attributes and traits that can mask their indeficiencies. I mean, come on. I mean, you think it was just because of our defense that Mahomes turned the ball over to us 3 times last year? No, he can't read defenses, but he's great and he makes plays. Yeah.
Jason, do you have anything to elaborate on that more?
I love TD's passion, and I get that it's almost a very similar situation to the anger a lot of us had for not protecting and giving Tannehill everything, but then he got some stuff, he sprinkled some of this, whatever. But I'm with you. And TD, let me tell you something, my man. You had me at the Miracle. When I first saw you at the Miracle and your reaction, I absolutely fell in love with you. So I love your conviction behind what you believe in. And that's, what I'll give you 100% on.
Hey, more breaking news.
Go.
Brian Flores is meeting with the Giants today.
I told you. Yep. That's what was frustrating about the Dayball situation. And I believe you, Jason. Dayball is in Miami.
Yep.
Because they already knew Brian Flores was going to take the Giants' job.
Well, that was regardless. What Brian Flores does is right. But the Giants,
I said he was either going to take Chicago or New York.
But
and the moment Matt Flores just took Chicago, I was like, yep.
Dayball will be signed. You'll get breaking news within the next hour or two if Flores signs, because that's the frustration too. We're not even Dayball's first choice.
How do you know that though? Because
this is what was told to me. And hey, we all hear from people, but
that's
doesn't
fair.
make it 100%.
That's fair. And what I will say to that is, I think that I think that I think Dayball had his choice between the Giants and the Dolphins, and I think the Giants' first choice was Dayball, and I think the Dolphins' first choice is Dayball. And if
the Giants' first choice isn't Dayball.
Who do you think their first choice was?
The Giants were right here with Flores and Dayball. But as you notice, the last 5 days, they've done more work post of Flores. They've done more on Flores. He was the front runner for the Giants job, not Dayball. And that's why Dayball was sitting in the wing, because I believe the Miami Dolphins had already offered Dayball the job within the last 48 hours. But the trigger hadn't been pulled because he was waiting to see what the Giants wanted to do.
I mean, this
is all based off of what I'm being told, that Brian Dayball's first option was New York, but New York has to decide who they want between him and Flores.
And they want Flores.
We're seeing what's working out right now. Because tell me this: how long have we heard Dayball being the front runner in Miami now?
A week and a half, whatever.
And what's taking so long? And then on top of that, we get these conflicting reports. One report says Dayball is interested in the fact of reuniting with Tua Tagovailoa. Then we get another report saying Dayball is actually concerned about Tua's upside, his ceiling in this league, and leaning towards the Giants if they select him over Flores. I truly believe Brian Dayball is sitting around waiting, or in Miami, probably with the news that they're probably going to go with Brian Flores now. He's sitting there saying he wanted New York, but you know what? I'm going to take a head coaching job regardless, so Miami it is. We are not his first choice.
All right, let me start wrapping it up because I got to go pick up my kids here from school. So 2 things. Number 1, if you have not hit that like button, please hit your like button on the way out the door. I ask of you to please hit that like button. Number 2, both of these gentlemen here have absolutely amazing platforms, and I want to let them both promote because I know they're both going to be doing. It's going to be crazy today. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry,
yes,
Jason.
Sorry,
what do you think about this notion that came out and Omar kind of insinuated to it, which makes a lot of sense to me? The head coach that wants to come to Miami, they have to understand that they could end up being fired after 1 year for the simple fact that Chris Grier could be on the clock if this all doesn't work out this year. Because if we fire Chris Grier next year, if it all doesn't work out and they bring in another general manager, he's probably going to want his own head coach. What do you think about that as a deterrent with these coaches potentially wanting to come to Miami?
Is it a factor potentially? Can I guarantee it? No, but it could be a variable. Sure, it could be.
Okay.
It could be.
All right, guys, I know you both have a lot of stuff to do today, so I want to let you guys promote your stuff. And so TD, go ahead, promote you and what you're going to do today.
TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. I'm about to go live in a moment. We're going to be talking about these signings, and we're going to keep our eyes on what's going on around the league. So this is just going to be a hangout, chill out, talking about everything that's going on, talking about the breaking news, all the latest topics around the NFL, not just Dolphin-centric, because a lot of things going on around the NFL could be factoring in on what happens with the Dolphins. All these free agent guys we're throwing out, we go get this receiver, that receiver. You know, if Aaron Rodgers goes to Denver, some of those guys could be headed there. All of these things matter, and we're going to talk about it up next on TD Fans Talk.
Yeah, make sure you guys check that out. And I also want to remind you all, too, before I let Jason go, that tomorrow we'll obviously have Spread Kindness Friday on the morning show here on Clock Blockers. But tomorrow night we also have Covering the Spread with the Fins Tailgate crew. So make sure you guys check out the new sports gambling show that we have live at 10 p.m. tomorrow night. Make sure you guys check that out. And also, baseball fans, had Xavier Scruggs on. Make sure you go check out the upload I did of our baseball segment on our YouTube channel. It was a lot of fun. We talked about the Hall of Fame voting, a lot of different things, steroids, performance-enhancing drugs, the lockout, all that stuff. So make sure you guys check out that. All right, Jason, go ahead, bro. Floor is yours.
Yeah, I appreciate the forum. This has been a crazy hour. Flew. It was a lot of fun. And my bad on a couple of, I guess we'll call them shanks. But ultimately, I'm going to keep at it. There is a very good chance that maybe this thing can get done within 24 hours. And hopefully there can be clarity on where the Miami Dolphins are moving. And for all things, check out finmaniacs.com. Check out our Twitter handle. Check out my Twitter handle at Jason_Sarney. And pleasure, TD, Steven. Appreciate both of you guys. Thank you.
Guys, I love both of you guys. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Have a good one, guys.
Peace.
All right, guys, go check out TD. TD's about to go on. Thank you so much for the show today. Had such a good time. I just want to say, this is the best morning show because of y'all. Y'all are the best. Absolutely awesome. Want to give a big shout out to everybody that was in the chat this morning. EM Dolphin, Samaj, I see Trey, Bari, Nelson. Thank you so much for saying this was a good stream. Christalakis, Roaches, everybody, man. Flipside Fishing, all of you. Tony T. Crypto was absolutely awesome today. Shout out to Crypto. Love you, buddy. Johnny Utah, Trey, CB83. I'm just trying to say hello to all these people on here. Joe Lee, thank you, Joe Lee, so much. Dolphin Don, AB, y'all are the best. Nelson Porter, what's up? All right, great show today, guys. I will see y'all tomorrow bright and early on Clock Blockers, home of the #1 Miami fan morning show, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Clock Blockers, 9 a.m. Peace.